There we go. Hello, everybody. I warned you all in my streams this week that you would be pissed at me. And I think you guys are maybe starting to realize why exactly you might be pissed at me. Welcome to the Secret Origin of Glib Part 2. If you were expecting something else, I'm not sure what you're talking about here. Now, before we get into the episode that was planned right from the start and what everybody was expecting and hoping for, I have a quick technical thing that I have to test that I couldn't test recorded. I had to wait and test it on live. So we'll do our announcements and such as I test this. So let's jump right in as I do it. Momo, do you want to cover merch or Patreon or something just so that someone can talk while I poke at my settings? Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm doing all of our plugs. We got merch. We have new merch hitting. I don't know if it's hit the store yet, but if
which one are you talking about? The Good Bid stuff? The Good Bid stuff has.
Now is an excellent time to talk about how there's new Good Bid merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone cares about Good Bid right now.
On live, I made a bunch of designs. Not all of them are up yet, but most of them are. You can get hoodies and t-shirts that have the little Good Bid Unlimited LLC as a little patch. Not a patch, but as a little pocket square design. And on the back of those shirts, it has fees. All the fees. It says, like, if you're talking to me right now, you agree to the following fees. And there's like 17. It's actually hilarious. I might buy one myself. I think that's the only new merch we got. Okay. What else is...
I'm a cut in. I'm going to need chat's input on this because chat is going to be the only ones that can tell. I need you guys to tell me if my video and my audio are desynchronized. I'm going to clap. They might be very desynchronized or they could be good. I'm not sure because it doesn't tell me on Streamlabs how much the desync is measured.
They're synced.
They're synced? That hopefully will fix some of the weird audio nonsense. Yeah. It will either do nothing or it will fix it. So that's fingers crossed. I have hopefully fixed it. And if it's like slightly better, but not perfect yet, I can set async more, but I figured out the problem. So hopefully.
Okay, we got that over with, and we got Cool Rolf. We got Cool Rolf merch, or no, just kidding. Cool Rolf is dead.
Yes,
much. We got our standard character.
We do have that.
Bella merch is on the way. We also have our Patreon where we talk about the show immediately after the show. It's not posted until Saturday at noon Eastern, but it gets up there. We also have fun things on the Patreon, like some art that Panda has done. I still have to post one of them, but you get to see Golden Glib, which, for a fun fact, was actually drawn on screen. So if you
on stream,
if you watch the episode and
also on screen
and see Panda like looking down the whole time, it's because he's drawing that.
I have my tablet open right now because I am drawing, so that I'm listening the entire time. This is just me doodling to think.
Will that also be on the Patreon eventually? Whatever he's drawing, maybe. We don't know. You find out if you're a Patreon subscriber, patron. That's the word I'm looking for. We also got our Discord connected to the Patreon. You can be a part of it at any level. So you have the $1 tier and the $5 tier. You get. Oh my gosh, you get Discord benefits either way, but you only get the after show called Backstage with the $5 and that's
Let's see. I also I noticed people in the chat talking about the very new setup. Just so everyone, the colors and the fact that it says the Secret Origin of Glib, that's only for this episode. But this is the layout we're going to be using going forward because the main feed wasn't doing that much for us. So the colors will change and be representative of the normal characters and the logos and stuff. But like the camera positioning, this is what we're doing from here on out, which should flow better for everybody. So fingers crossed that's going to work nicer.
The main feed was always out of sync with the audio anyways, too.
Yeah. It was always messed up. And this is just going to be a better setup for everyone, I believe. Look at us actually improving things very, very, very slowly, but we're getting there 3 seasons into the show. Anyway, anyone have any other announcements, or should we get into this normal episode, this normal chill episode that I'm sure everyone is very happy to watch?
Yes, this normal episode where nothing else happens.
Yeah, we can have a normal one.
Yeah, this is a totally normal episode. Where would battle maps go? Oh yeah, there's going to be another feed that we cut to for like maps or things that need to be shown off, but we're not going to have the main feed on the screen all the time. There's going to be another screen. I'm basing it, if you watched Fight Fest, I liked the layout that we had for Fight Fest, so I based it more off that, and then we'll be cutting to that where like, when we go to the main feed, like my screen is going to go to the bottom and we'll have the main feed sort of under everybody's cameras in the center, like Fight Fest was. I thought that looked nice, so we're just using that. Oh, and also I know, yes, there is a slight overlap in the bottom right of my thing. That's because I'm covering people's names and I didn't align it properly. Yeah. That was my fault, but that's not permanent. I'm covering character names for the reveal and I just screwed it up. That's not me being bad at graphic design. Anyway, I gotta say one more thing before we get into this, which is just, I said this before we actually went to live cameras. I have one of the funniest screenshots I've ever had related to this campaign on my phone now because of these three. I'm going to reveal something that I don't think Panda knew. Panda, I did make a separate group chat without you in it so that we could coordinate
Don't worry,
things.
I always assumed as much.
And here's the thing. They made a separate group chat without me.
You have
so I went behind your back, and then they went behind. Well, I'll show it later.
I made a group chat with myself and told nobody.
Just me.
That's
no one.
Just me.
I'm not gonna tell. I will share the screenshot later because it's so funny. But that's why the names are covered. And look, this is gonna be a really, really, really stupid episode, and I'm very excited for it. On that note, shall we get into it?
I think we shall.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, so does anyone want to do a recap of sort of Glib so far, or should I take that?
Not me.
I would say you can go ahead and take that because I'll go into way too much detail.
Way too much. Okay, so that's fair. Well, actually, no, just do a quick overview of who Glib is, Panda, and then we will. Or I'll cover like the secret origin of Glib part 1. Panda.
Okay, so just a like an overview of not who Glib is at this moment, but like the kind of quotes backstory of Glib.
The nice simple character sort of rundown.
All right. Glib, when we met him in the campaign, was a grung who used to be a human wizard. He is the world's most unlucky man. And when we initially met him, he was a lot more of a calm everyman who had the most unfortunate circumstances thrust upon him because he was both a vampire and a grung, both of which not by his choice. And his entire goal was to just not be that anymore. Other than that, like in the most base state, everything else has been changes that have been created because of the campaign. So that's like the most base state version of Glib that I can think of.
All right, perfect. Now, we did an episode, season 2. Season 2 is the only time we've done Breakpoints. We did a sort of origin of Glib episode in season 2, just for fun, since, we didn't have someone there for a week. I don't remember who wasn't there. We decided to do a little adventure into the past of the campaign and talk about Glib's origin. And we went into Glib's history at his magic academy, which was basically starting with him being human and ending with him getting turned into his newer froggy form. But the campaign or the session ended there because it was one session. We didn't have a ton of time. And we never got into the second part of Glib's tragic origin, which is how this frogman became a vampire frogman. And for absolutely no reason at all, don't worry about it. That's what we're covering today. The secret origin of Glib part 2, how he became a vampire. Now, I do know how, I want this to go. I know how Glib turned into a vampire. But because there was some character planning behind the scenes, you guys, you three, Nathan, Momo, Mike, without spoiling your characters, do you have an idea of how you want your characters to sort of be introduced? Because you plan things. I know you plan things. Do you have a pitch, or do you want me to just kind of start with Glib and we'll go
I can't wait to hear
from
what
there?
happened. I can't wait to hear.
You know what? I can't either.
I mean, you'll hear what happened. You'll hear the maybe possible planning stages in the after show. But
yeah, I feel like it would make sense to start being talked to by our parents.
Yeah, that's fine. That works.
Sure.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Do you guys? All right, this is going to be an interesting session with what you guys planned. So,
I'm so scared. You guys get to the point.
We
terrified.
We will open on the, I guess the family home, the sort of family home / business headquarters of a certain family in the world of Vontrell, which has never been seen before, the Hardys. And they are, forgive me if I don't remember who exactly is playing who yet, they are Prince Hardy, Owen Hardy, and Harold Hardy. You guys want to go ahead and describe your characters? I'm very anxious to hear
what the fuck is going on.
What the deal is.
Momo, you can go first.
All right. Hey, what's up? I'm Principal. You can call me Prince Hardy. I'm the eldest. I am a level 4 fighter, human fighter. And I'm kind of the leader of this band of morons.
Hi. What up, everyone? Name's Owen Hardy, middle child. Vampire hunting isn't really my thing, but family business, gotta make the pops proud. I'm here. I like to annoy Prince and pick on Harold and just kind of vibe out, you know what I mean? Life's all about good vibes. Where you can find them anyways.
My name is Harold Hardy. I live for the hunt. I am a barbarian. I am 12. I occasionally require a leash, much to my own chagrin. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh boy!
I should say I'm a Monster Slayer Ranger as well. Did not say my class, so there's that.
Mike, you're playing a lead.
All right.
That's the Hardy family.
So
and together
chat, in case you can't tell by my face.
The Hardy boys.
Brothers. Boys, Harold. It's the Hardy boys.
Harry, get it
Guys.
Come on.
Do not call me Harry. I am
need
Harold,
everyone
or I am a herald of death.
Prince, you gotta stop
Grandpa's
calling him Harry,
You're
man.
Harry.
Oh.
I am...
Now don't calm down, man. Dude,
You
chill.
need your
I need
inhaler.
everyone in
Chill.
chat to know.
I'm gonna need you to chill.
I need everyone in chat to know that I had planned this. They don't know this either. I had planned this episode to be somewhat of a mystery episode before I knew they were doing a Hardy Boys joke. That was a coincidence.
That was a total coincidence.
That was a coincidence.
Oh my god.
So, do you guys have like a names for your parents, this family business? Because they came up with this. If you guys have names, I'll do like a little spiel from them, or I'll just give you the mission here.
We did not think that far ahead.
Didn't think that far ahead? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So we open. We're actually going to open on the Hardys, I think, not on Glib, despite this being the secret origin of Glib. Now the Hardy boys have been given their first mission for the family business without their parents. They have been sent to hunt down some vampires on their own, which is obviously a big moment in their transition to taking over the family business one day. So you three have been sent. We'll say you're probably from. I would say I'm forgetting the names of my own. We haven't been to Vontrell in so long because of season 3. What was the name of the city where the magic school is?
Oh God!
Is this a test? Do I?
I was not there for that episode.
Bowenberg. Thank you, chat, for remembering this. Bowenberg.
Bowenberg.
You haven't been there in so long. So we'll say you three are probably from Bowenberg, and you have been sent to a a middle-sized town a bit outside of Bowenburg. Not like a tiny village, but not a city. A decently sized town named Hamtog, due to the fact that they are mostly known for swine farming. They don't have much to their name, but they have a large population of pigs, and that's their primary export. So the monarch of the small town, a man by the name of Lord Wainwright, has requested the help of the Hardy Boys because there is a seemingly vampire who has been assaulting the town. Now, originally, they weren't too concerned about it because it was just hunting pigs. Of course, this is a problem for a town whose main export is pigs, but something that they thought they could deal with internally. But as of late, humans have started to fall victim to this mysterious assailant. And of course, all of the murders seem pretty in line with vampirism. So at this point, they've thought, well, this is probably something that we're going to need to turn to outside help for, and have requested you. But since it is, a new case, again, this vampire was mostly attacking animals and just has sort of recently upgraded to humans, presumably not the biggest threat in the world, which is why you guys have been sent there for your first mission. And so we will open with you three entering the town of Hamtog. And you can sort of do what you wish. There is of course, like a council town hall place that you can go to first. But if you want to get some investigating before you go there, that is up to you guys. What do you want to start doing in Hamtog?
I want to say that my character has, what is it? I have my tool I have and proficiency I have is vehicles. So I would like to say I'm driving whatever thing we have. Is it a cart? Is it some sort of buggy? I don't know.
I'll give you like a sort of low-tech kind of steampunk fantasy buggy if you want that. I'll allow that. I will allow that. So you can have the the Batmobile, as it were. The vampires, right?
Shut the fuck up! There's only so many goddamn puns I can deal with in an episode. Jesus.
So yeah, I'm driving the car, and I wonder, how are my brothers doing in the back? How are y'all doing in the back?
Dude, you gotta stop hitting me. We're almost there.
How else am I supposed to stay tough until we get there? We've been in this car forever.
But punch the back of the seat. I don't know, bro. Don't hit me.
Harold fully turns around and starts fully boxing with the headrest on the seat behind him.
There you go. Yeah, get him. Get him.
Harold scares me already.
I do have the rope. I'm not afraid to take it out. I will take it out.
Ooh.
Harry,
rope,
steaming, settles into his seat.
Thank you.
Just staring forward.
Use it too.
All right, we're gonna get our mission from City Hall, and we're not gonna have no funny business on the way. This is our first mission. We cannot fuck this up.
No funny business?
None.
If they seem uncooperative, maybe we beat them.
No. Our job is saving people, hunting things.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, let's do it then. Let's do it.
All right, so you guys drive I'm going to keep calling it the Batmobile. It's funny. You guys drive your Batmobile up to the entrance of City Hall, where a couple people, guards, and that seem to be a few government officials, come out to meet you. One man, notably, who is dressed a little bit fancier than the others, not like incredible levels of royal opulence. He's not like a king. He's just sort of, he is the leader of this town. Presumably, Lord Wainwright steps out towards you and kind of nods, goes, "Oh, yes, the Hardys, I assume?"
Yes, I'm Prince. These are my brothers, Owen and Harold.
Yes.
That's good.
Excellent. And your parents, are they here? Are they arriving later?
No, it's just us this time. Just us.
Oh, of course, yes, of course. Well, 3 Hardys is more than enough, I'm sure. It's exactly what we asked for. We are really, truly in need of your services. Come in. He gestures for you to follow him into City Hall.
Sweet.
So, on the way to his office, you see, this isn't a huge building, but it's fairly large for the town that you would expect. There are a couple people sort of rushing to and fro, handling various things. As you pass an office, you see Lord Wainwright kind of knock on the door. Go, Gordon, come here. And a few moments later, a man opens the door and Wainwright says, this is Gordon. He's the agricultural committee manager for Hamtog. He's the one who handles all the farming and all the swine, etc., etc. He's going to be your main point of contact on this mission, seeing as it was under his jurisdiction that the attacks started happening in the first place. And Gordon kind of nods to you politely. Wainwright seems busy, and so after introducing you to Gordon, he kind of starts stepping away, goes, if you need anything, don't hesitate to contact my office. We're more than happy to provide any help you would need, and of course, when the mission is completed, come see me for payment. And then he rushes off. So Gordon then turns, he goes, so you're the Hardys?
We are.
Yeah, that's us.
And you three are the experienced vampire hunters?
I assure you we're very capable.
Super capable.
Extremely.
He kind of glances over at Harold, who has like a very different energy than the other two. It's like, okay, well, what do you need to see? I'm not very experienced with vampire. I can take you out to see some of the pigs. I can get you with the doctor if you need to see some of the human victims. Yes,
we need to conduct a thorough investigation, as that is our MO. We need to know the MO of the vampire. It's only just one, correct? Usually they travel in pairs.
Gordon kind of looks at you a little annoyed, goes, I'll just manage the pigs. I'm not a vampire hunter. If there might be two of them.
Then can you take us to someone useful?
Harold.
Gordon looks at Harold and is like, this one's no nonsense. I like you.
He's a treat.
Yeah, he gets right down to the point. Some you two could probably learn from. Anyway, yeah, I'll take you to see the doctor. Come over here. And he just heads out of the building.
We follow him.
Yeah, we follow.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah.
Harold
Gordon
follows
just
a little quicker than the other two.
As Harold passes me, I just like look at him and I like tap the rope on my hip, like I will use this.
Harold slows down a pace.
Gordon quickly, walks out of the building, and without really like turning back to see if you're following or telling you where exactly he's going, just starts heading down a street to a small apothecary shop. It seems whoever's in here is probably the main person in charge of medicine for the village. And he opens it up, like without even knocking, just kind of barges on in and shouts, Timothy, the vampire hunters are here. And somewhat annoyed, a dragonborn comes out of the back. Goes, oh, yes, hello, Gordon. These you three are here to deal with the vampire problem?
Yes.
All right, well, we have some of the victims back here. They're, the bodies. I sort of handle all the medical things around here, so I'm also the morgue operator. I'm forgetting the word.
Mortician, yeah.
Mortician, thank you. I'm also the mortician here. So you can see the victims if you want. Try to get any clues. I don't know what your usual procedure is. I kind of switch voices there, but you get the idea.
Yes, we've got this covered. You're dismissed.
This is my business.
He said you are dismissed.
Okay, well, I think I'll stick around just to be certain of everything. I won't interfere, but I'm not going to be dismissed from my home.
We're not intimidating. This isn't intimidating at all.
This is a big dragonborn getting yelled at by an angry 12-year-old.
I'm 26.
Not you, Harold. He's more worried about Harold.
Harold gives Prince a look like, should I pursue further? Should I get this guy out of here?
No, you cannot attack this man. I whisper. I whisper to attack him.
Then do your freaking doctor stuff, all right? We're wasting daylight. Jeez.
Right. All right. I guess I make an investigation check on the bodies. Is that it?
Yeah, he leads you into the back room. You guys can make your investigation checks.
Reek, dude. What the?
It's a dead body.
They do, in fact, reek.
I mean, I don't know.
That's going to be a 21.
21 is good. So, you can see, unsurprisingly, this person was obviously killed by a vampire. There are 2, fang holes in the neck. Notably, not a lot of signs of a struggle. No other bruises anywhere else on the body, just sort of the holes. The victim in question is fairly young, actually. The victim is probably only around like 15 or 16-year-old boy, which is, more concerning that this vampire is going after children. But in your experience, that also means could be a weaker vampire trying to go after weaker targets. Obviously, animals, and then going after younger people, not necessarily looking for a fight. You're not sure. Timothy is waiting in the main room. If you want to ask him anything, you're in the back of the apothecary now. If you want to look for any sort of specific information or have specific questions for me, feel free to ask. This is obviously more of like a detective episode.
Yeah,
so
right.
You got to use your monster hunter heads here.
Is it just the one body in here?
There are actually, let's say there are 2 bodies probably.
2 bodies?
Let's say there are 2. Okay. Yeah. 2 human victims that you know of. One was a fluke. The second one was like, okay, we need to do this. The other body in question, if you want to go look at that, is also fairly younger. This one is, I would say, slightly older than the boy. It's a girl, but, 16, 17 years old. Once again, no signs of a struggle, just bite marks. And you can't tell a lot they're probably farmers from the, there's some like dirt under the fingernails, but that's, for Hamtog, that's about what you would expect. You don't know anything about their family status, etc. You'd have to ask for that.
I have a question.
It just dropped a die.
What do we know about the vampire, process? Are you bitten and then you turn immediately, or do you turn after a certain amount of time? What do we know about that?
Because I know in D&D you don't always turn, right?
Yeah.
You have to be...
Yeah. I'm going to use what we do in the Shadows logic and say it's sort of an elective process the vampire can choose who to turn or not. But I also going to say it's not necessarily immediate. It can happen later.
Okay.
But there's no direct... That's why the bodies are kept separate. It's because who knows what could happen here.
Right. So, I mean, we want to drive stakes through their hearts or something? Or do we want to see if they come alive? I don't know. They could have information if they come alive.
I mean, then we're gonna have 3 hungry vampires on our hands.
All the more to smash.
Harold makes a good point, dude.
Harry, you need to calm down. This is your first time in...
will not calm down. It's my strength.
Harold.
What was the fucking guy's name?
The
Dragonborn.
Which guy? Timothy.
Timothy, when did these dudes pass?
Timothy kind of looked at the first one. The boy was about how many days? I think around 5 days ago, and then the girl was 3 days ago. The bodies aren't decaying as fast as you would necessarily think, which is perhaps a sign of vampirism, perhaps not. But the pigs have been dying for about at least a month and a half or so, but once humans started falling victim, we called you fairly quickly.
Were the boy and the girl related?
We're gonna have to do a bit of work here. What tools do we have at our disposal for vampires? Yeah. Iron? I assume we have iron weapons. That's anti-vampire.
That's a question that you
also in a world full of many gods, what religious symbols do we use to fight these vampires?
I mean, actually, since you're in Bowenberg and you need something sort of good aligned, it would likely be a symbol of Vaktan.
Woo! Let's keep it
funny
going.
Enough, because it would be, peace and wisdom, that's probably the closest to a holy symbol that you're going to get. Maybe also a symbol of the god of healing and medicine from the life domain could also be something. But given the proximity to Bowenberg, I'm going to say Vaktan makes, I think, the most sense. At the very least,
Owen would have a bag of holy symbols or something on his person that we can whip out.
Yeah. I will assume, for the sake of convenience, that you have everything that is sort of reasonably associated with the Monster Hunter mythos.
Yeah.
If
I got iron
if there's
daggers.
something you want that's a bit too much of a stretch, I'll stop.
Okay, for sure.
But I think that's reasonable for now.
I mean, what do we want to just like tie these guys down, go take a look around town?
I mean, first we got to stab them through the heart with what we got.
Okay, so we got it. Okay, that's you. That's a you thing.
All right, Harold. Do you think you can handle this?
I don't care to fight victims who won't fight back. Waste of my time.
Harold, I thought you would love this part.
Oh, waste of my time. I was expecting it to be like an honor thing, not a waste of my time thing. All right,
Harold, you
Harold.
get permission to stab someone. And it doesn't even hurt them.
There is no point if there is no fight. There is no improvement. Just busy work.
Oh, man. Who are you hanging out with at school, dude? We got to talk.
I just take my iron daggers and I poke in through the heart with all of them.
All right.
May you be
now
at rest.
you poke them. Make me a perception check. It's going to be a low DC, but if you fail it, you fail it. You know.
That's a nat one.
You stabbed them. All right, they've been stabbed.
Oh no!
They're not coming. I can't believe I said if you fail it, you fail it, and then immediately,
instantaneously.
Can we get out of here already? I'm sick of these dead bodies.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Harold on that one. Timothy, where can you give us directions to where these poor souls were found dead?
Yes, Timothy kind of draws you up a map of the building where they were found. At this point, I think let's actually cut over to the character whose name is on the one shot, Glib, and explain at least a little bit of what Glib is doing right now. So, Glib, after being frogged, we discussed this off camera. It was you left Bowenberg. Yes, you just wanted to get away from everything, and you left Bowenberg. Yep. You've drifted around for a bit, let's say, but, you know, people aren't exactly immediately accepting of this strange sort of unique frog creature, and I would say your own discomfort with your new form probably makes it even harder to find a place to settle down. Yeah. But eventually, and I'll actually kind of leave it up to you how long you want to be. I would say probably, you know, not more than a week, but whether you want to have just arrived in town or have been here for a few days, that's kind of up to you. But you have settled. Go ahead and answer that, and then.
Well, more I was going to ask, how long has it been since I became this? Like,
I would say 2 months.
About 2 months. Okay.
Yeah, it's fairly recent. This is a.
It's
fairly
recent, but the tears aren't still on his face. Like he's kind of had to get used to being a frog.
Yes, there is. You're used to it, but it's still weird and unpleasant. I would assume, like, you know, you can handle being a frog in like a physical sense, where it's like you can walk and jump and do things, but like the mental stress is still very much there.
Subject.
Yes, okay. I would say that kind of thing is where we're where we're at for Glib.
Okay, so
but
I made it to the pig village, the hog.
Okay. Yes, you have made it to Hamtog.
Hamtog. God damn, why am I so Hamtog? Bad at names?
I mean, to be fair, it's a stupid name, but I was like, it's fine. And you have found some simple work as a farmhand. The people of Hamtog are not, you know, if you're going to work and help with the pigs, they're not too worried about you being a strange frog. And you have found lodging at the orphanage there. Mm-hmm. It's not a massive orphanage, but there is a small orphanage in Hamtog that has taken you in. I mean, you're still a kid, not like a young child, but Glib is not, you know, Glib is not an adult at this point.
No, I think he's still like 19, roughly, like 19, 20-ish.
Yeah. And being a strange creature, you know, they've accepted you there, and you can just, until you can find somewhere else, you're allowed there.
Okay.
Now, it is a fairly normal day at the orphanage for you. Here's a question that I think I know the answer to, but I'm going to ask just to be sure. How social is Glib with the other kids at the orphanage in his time there?
I would say he doesn't really speak to anyone unless they talk to him first. He's trying to be as much of a shadow as possible. Because, again, we've kind of set up that there's no grungs in this world other than him. So he looks like a freak of nature that nobody really understands. He's going to try and keep to himself as much as possible, especially with his luck.
Yeah. In that case, not very social.
No.
We'll say that the other children in the orphanage are not outright mean to Glib, but they're also not actively trying to, sort of start conversation with this same creature. They seem a little scared of you. Understandable.
I'd be scared of him too. That makes sense.
So anyway, after a few days at this orphanage, learning the ways of farm work and stuff, again, it's sort of up to Glib how much you're liking it, but regardless, after a few days, one day is different because today, you get a knock at the door. Not you specifically, but the orphanage. Mm-hmm. And the headmistress of the orphanage opens up the door to find 3 vampire hunters. For this is the place where the victims have been found.
Lovely. Okay.
So Glib, we'll say you are sort of watching this conversation from the background. We will cut back to the Hardys, but Glib, you are present in the setting, if not the scene specifically, and can interject. You get what I mean.
I would say Glib would probably be staying in either the basement or the attic. He's trying to stay away from people as much as possible.
Yes.
So he's either looking down on this conversation from the roof or looking up from the floorboards to try and, listen in.
Whichever you prefer.
Okay. He's in the cellar. I can imagine an orphanage would have a cellar before they would have a second floor. So.
All right, perfect. So yes, Glib is in the cellar and can hear this conversation. So back to the Hardys. You 3 will kind of cut like a minute or 2 prior. You 3 arrive at the address that Timothy directed you to, finding that it is an orphanage.
Well, that is depressing. Prince, I think you got the lead on this one, man.
All right. I knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and after a moment or 2, a woman answers, a human woman, older, kind of, what you'd sort of expect from a headmistress of an orphanage, nothing really notable there. She kind of goes, "Oh, hello, are you the... She sort of leans in, seeming not wanting to scare the children. "Are you the hunters?"
Yes, we are the Hardy boys. We've been summoned here to investigate the occurrences.
Yes, of course. She actually kind of steps out into the street and sort of pulls the door shut behind her and whispers. She goes, "We've been trying to keep this a little bit of a secret. Don't want to scare the rest of the children, of course. You understand there's a need for discretion. I don't want to worry the little ones."
I don't understand what is scary about this situation.
The murders.
Oh, yes.
I would say children are often scared of murders.
Right,
Why?
for sure.
They're
for sure.
orphans. They're probably related to it in some way already.
Harold.
Yes, little one. I would say, in fact, that actually in some cases makes it worse.
Okay, whatever. That doesn't make sense, but okay.
Are your parents around by any chance?
No, we're just standing. But,
go ahead, Owen. Take
yeah. Okay, sure. Right. Sorry for everything that's been happening to you. Totally sucks. We get it. Condolences.
That sounds sort of insensitive given the situation. I wouldn't use the word suck in this.
Right.
case.
So, our Hardy hearts go out to you in these trying times. Can you give us any information that you have, and we can put an end to this, and nobody else has to suffer?
I also think you should interview some of the children.
Of course. Let me come in. She enters the orphanage again. Let me take you to the room in which the incident took place. And she follows you back, takes you guys back to a room. This orphanage has.
I talk with Prince. Was that good? You think I comforted them?
Honestly, I'm very appreciative of you taking some initiative.
Hey, I'm trying. Yeah. Thanks.
So the headmistress takes you back into one of the rooms. There are a couple bedrooms in this orphanage, not like each kid gets their own room situation, but there are bunks in each one. And she takes you into one. Notably, there are no kids in here. There's no belongings. It seems uninhabited. But the window is boarded up. It has clearly been broken and then, sealed back over. Just this is the room where the first incident took place. All the children have been moved out of here since, of course. But if you would like to look around, or for me to bring any of the children in here who were in proximity, just of course, let me know.
Thank you, ma'am. And what was your name?
Martha.
Oh, Martha. How close are we to the sheep, or the pigs, or whatever?
The pig farms. There's of course, she points out the boarded up window. A few streets down, just one or two. There is where the nearest farm is.
And do you have children that work there at that farm?
We do. Yes, we do. Most people in Hamtog do.
Interesting. Can I
saw that message. Panda.
Can I make an investigation check in the room for any glass shards or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for
it. There are no pigs immediately near us, right?
No.
Okay.
That's that's not a 14. That is an 18.
An 18. 18 is very good. So you don't see any glass shards in the room at all.
Interesting. I'm going to leave everyone in here, and I'm going to go outside to see if I see glass outside.
Smart. Yes, interestingly, you do, actually. As if the window has been broken from the inside.
Interesting.
Good thinking.
Interesting. Martha, you've been dismissed. Can you sim?
You're just dismissing everyone from their own places, I swear to God.
I would like you to bring us some of the children that were previously in this room.
Of course. She walks out of the room, and presumably in a moment or two, she will be back with some of the children. If you want to do anything while she's gone, now's your moment.
Are there pigs?
But you don't
This
have
is going to be a strange question, but are there pigs within eyesight of the...
Are there pigs within eyesight? I don't actually know, which probably tells you the importance of that necessarily, but
I'll tell you what I'm scheming. I can cast Speak with Animals.
Ooh.
Okay. That's very smart. Someone said I'm waiting for the reference that sends Panda through the camera, and I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
I told you I picked, before the show started, I was like, I picked a bunch of stuff that I thought would be useless. And Speak with Animals, usually, it's one of the better ones. But
yeah. I'm amazed that no one's yelled at me for the reference I definitely didn't make that I thought would get picked up immediately.
Oh, I saw people yelling.
About what? Because I've done a lot already.
Gordon?
The first secret origin of Glib was me dunking on Harry Potter for several hours.
Oh my fucking God. Sorry, I got that joke.
No. You guys, I don't think you guys have gotten it yet. I don't think you guys, yeah.
Oh, surely there's a second.
You know why I named this town that. Anyway. Also, yeah, in the distance you can see like a pig
I
field.
get it. God damn it.
Yeah. I've been sitting stewing over here and your fucking puns. It's driving me insane.
That one has effort.
These are very good puns, and that makes them worse.
Oh, shit.
It's not the biggest,
I just figured
I had to keep up the theme. No. It is a pig town. It is a pig town.
Anyways, I want to...
And remember, anyway.
When Prince goes out to check outside, I will walk across the way and go and speak to one of these pigs if I can.
All right, go for it. We will do that at the same time. Read me the exact text of it. I forget if Speak with Animals, and maybe you'll know this. Is it like, does it assume that the animals have a human level of intelligence, or are you just like speaking to a regular
it says
pig?
1 action, 10 minutes. You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at a minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor for you at the GM's discretion.
Okay.
I'll still give it a shot.
Go for it. So you go to the nearest pig pen. That's the word for that. The nearest pig pen, which is, again, a couple streets away. It's not immediately close, but you go there and
Sweet.
Cast Speak with Animals. You just do that, I guess.
Yeah.
A thing that needs to
I just pick one that looks particularly smart and touch it.
All right, and yes, as Chad is pointing out, yes, pigs are very smart animals. I am well aware of this.
I take like a varsity boy squat where I'm not like fully sitting, but I'm like squatting down, and I'm like, "Sup, dude? Can you hear me?"
Oh, hello.
Great. Hey, have you've been catching wind that like pigs have been dying, right? You been hearing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
Hey, I don't want you to die either, man. Have you seen what's been doing that? We're trying to stop it.
Yeah, it wasn't in this pen. It was in one of the other pens.
In one of the
haven't been in this pen yet, but I heard about it.
Heard about it. Right. Do you know if there's more than one guy, or if there's?
Only seen one. Well, not me seeing, but other pigs.
Other
pigs have seen like a big. He got a big cape. He's like a big bat.
Like a big bat, right? Like a vampire.
Yeah,
for sure, dude.
What's a vampire?
Don't worry about it, man.
Is it like a big bat?
It's like a big bat, exactly, man.
Dare go with this word.
Like a Batman.
Yeah, like a Batman.
This hurts
for sure.
So much.
It's like a Batman, like a man who's a bat. Yeah.
This guy's kind of weird. Sounds like a character that would be overused in popular media.
I don't think I picked a smart pig. I think this one's delusional. All right. Well, hey, thanks for your help, buddy. And I'll head back.
You're welcome. Do you have any slot?
No, sorry. Gotta go, dude.
I'll just answer all those questions for free then.
I'm out of earshot.
Just fucking left.
I got back and I just like give Prince like an elbow, be like, just talk to the pigs. They say they're only one, so that's good.
Look, someone in the chat said, "Why are you hate criming Panda like this?" This is the episode that's supposed to cause Glib pain, and I'm making it authentic. I'm making the emotions real.
Well, Owen, where's Harold? Is Harold here too?
I thought you had Harold.
I was gonna say there is like at least a solid 5 minutes where Harold's alone the way you've narrated. So
I thought you had Harold.
While y'all were gone,
Harold.
Harold fully lifted either bed to see what was underneath, if there was anything underneath.
Is Harold that strong?
He didn't lift them both with one hand as I'm mimicking, but he like fully like lifted them and checked underneath.
I would say there's nothing notable underneath the beds.
Man.
Harold.
Yeah, by the time they're back, Harold is running around the halls on all fours, sniffing the ground.
We're talking.
Okay.
We're talking.
No, perfect.
Come on.
I'm looking for clues
I have
in
the
my own
perfect
way.
thing.
Hey, you can't go beast mode in public. It's at home only.
But it's so cool.
So as the investigation from the older Hardy Boys is going on, Glib, you're just kind of chilling in the basement, trying to not get in the way of things, and suddenly this 12-year-old on all fours just bursts into the basement where you are. And Harold, you see like this frog man kind of like freaked out in the corner.
At the top of the staircase, Harold fully freezes like a cat. I found something. Beast mode worked. Beast mode worked. I found something.
Hey, wait, hold on. Wait.
We're tailing behind.
Prowling down the stairs like a cat. What in the hell are you?
Listen, kid, I'm just a guy. Does he do this a lot? Why is he like this?
Answer his questions.
I'm just a dude. You're
a frog. Already lying, I see.
Listen, man, I'm just a guy. I just look like this, okay? I don't know how to explain it either.
That smells
You
genuine.
sniffing me?
I can relate to having a beast inside or outside.
Oh boy.
Did something happen to him? Is he okay?
No,
Just
we think
training.
something. We think something actually didn't happen to him that was supposed to.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's just kind of like this.
That's right.
Okay.
Anyways,
are you just kind of like that, or is this like?
If you're gonna believe me, I was cursed by a wizard. And now I look like this. I used to be just a guy. I am still just a guy. I just was cursed to be a giant frog by a wizard who I apparently pissed off.
hey.
Yeah, that checks out. Have you seen any children with sharp teeth?
Besides,
Yeah,
Harold's
I'm like
teeth are
holding
perfectly
Harold
sharp enough. Perfectly sharp enough. That's rude, sir.
we're not
You don't
talking
have to
about.
be rude about it.
I'm a frog. I don't have teeth, so I'm not sure what proper levels of sharp are. I'm sorry. No, I haven't seen any kids with especially sharp teeth
How
around.
long have you been here?
Like a week. I got a job as a farmhand. As you can see, not many people are probably going to hire a guy who looks like me. So I kind of got to roll with what I can get.
All right, I'm gonna level with you. What's your name?
Glib.
That sounds made up. Anyway, Glib, if that's what you want to call yourself.
It is.
We're in a particularly challenging situation. It sounds like a child vampire has infiltrated this orphanage.
Well, as you can see, I live down here. I'm pretty sure I would hear a child vampire. And I don't think I had. Does he need to be so close to me?
Yes.
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 Okay.
It's for our safety and yours.
I am a 3-foot tall frog. I'm decently sure I have hollow bones. I don't really think I pose a threat to anybody, to be perfectly honest, other than myself, obviously.
We don't know.
Well, that's yet to be determined. We need a thorough investigation to determine if you are truly a threat. Maybe not the threat we are looking for at the moment, which is seemingly a child vampire.
Okay.
But we could use some help. Although we, as a family, are experienced vampire hunters, we need someone on the inside, and you are sort of our guy on the inside.
Inside? I don't know if you realize I don't exactly blend in
You
around.
live here.
In
That's
the
enough for
basement.
me.
I'm not. Listen, I have a very notorious string of bad luck. I was told
Show
by
of hands
men.
for who's okay with Glib being our inside man.
Seems like the one.
Well, there's 4 people down here, and I'm one of them. That's not.
And that fourth person was outvoted.
It's democracy, man.
Why does he need to be so close to me?
Listen, don't let him bother you. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. You gotta tell us everything you know, because we know, as you said, you've been here a week. These killings happened in the last few days. Were you in the room that those poor children died in?
In the room. Sir, I'm real sorry, but I don't. You realize I live in the basement, right?
All the time?
Yes. Look at me. I don't. Do I look like someone who goes out in the daylight a lot? I have to douse myself with water once every day, and I'm surrounded by pigs. That's not.
So you don't like going out in the daylight, eh?
I am a frog. child.
I like Harold.
I am a frog. I dry out. Listen, I used to be out in the daylight all of the time when I was, a person, but now I'm a monster and I have to stay in the basement or my skin starts to leave. And that's not.
Vampires can turn into bats. I'm not so convinced they can't turn into frogs.
3 foot tall bipedal frogs?
Yes.
I want to call down Martha.
Okay, yes. So you call for Martha, and a moment later, Martha comes down into the basement with some other children following behind you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you had left the room where I said I was going to bring people.
Yeah.
Here are some of the children who were nearby.
Hi, Martha.
Hello, Glib.
Martha, can you bring us a couple of cups? Thank you.
Of
empty cups.
Sure.
Make sure they're empty.
And empty cups. Yes. As she walks away, presumably to go get empty cups.
What up, kiddos? Today you're gonna help us solve a mystery.
Yeah.
Does that sound cool?
Let's see. There are 3 kids. We'll say 2 girls and a boy. How old should they? One of the we'll say like 8. 11 and 13. We'll do a little spread. Like 8-year-old girl, 11-year-old boy, 13-year-old girl.
Cool.
The 2 older ones look kind of nervous, a little worried. But the 8-year-old goes, "Yeah, mystery."
I like
Mysteries
that.
Mysteries are fun, right? Mysteries are so much fun. Did Martha come back with the cups yet?
You can wait for her to come.
By the way, when the kids came in, Glib put his cloak up. He's trying to not really be seen.
Harold is
children. After
to look.
After the 8-year-old says that, she turns to go and goes, "Hello, Mr. Creepy Frog."
Hi.
So they think you're creepy, huh?
Yeah. I take out my decanter of endless water and I whisper some celestial words over it, turning into a decanter of endless holy water.
Okay.
I pour out some cups for
already?
everybody. It's like, and offer everyone a drink.
The kids all take it and
I give one to Glib as
drink the water.
Okay.
That's up to Glib then.
I take it and I kind of look at it for a second and I'm like, so frogs don't really drink in a normal way?
Yes, they do. I know
Cheers,
enough
bro.
about animals to know they all.
I just got a knock at my door. I'm going to make sure that I'm not doing a bit. I swear to God.
Okay.
This is not a bit. Someone actually just knocked at my door. So give me like 2 seconds. I'm going to go see what that is because I was not expecting anything. Let me make sure it's not something important.
I think we could probably do the water bit. I don't know if do we need Matt for this part?
Oh, I don't know.
So.
Do we?
Do we need Dad, huh?
Do we need
Bottoms
water?
up, little frog man.
It's just a little water. You can't do not ghost hunting. What are we doing? You can't do monster
Vampire
hunting
hunting.
We're doing vampires.
without being well hydrated. It's a good way to get heat stroke and die.
Quick pause. Anybody in the chat know if frogs drink water in a normal way?
They do.
I'm not one. They do?
They
Do
use
they?
their tongue to drink. They absolutely drink water.
Okay. I'm not sure if they absorb it through their skin or something, so I'm trying to figure it out. All right. All right, that case.
I'm back.
You just okay.
No, right.
All right. Do any of these kids combust into flames?
None of the children combust into flames.
They absorb
right.
water. Oh, wait, hold on. Frogs do not drink water like we do. They absorb water directly through their skin in an area known as the drinking patch, located on their belly or the underside of their thighs. So he just doesn't drink it.
I learned something
He
today.
pours it on his chest, and you see the water absorb into his skin.
I'm gonna be honest. That's real
Weird.
fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. That you
That
did
was
that right
metal
now.
as hell. What if he was weak to that? He would have been so screwed. That's awesome.
I hate what I am, and this is not helping.
I think that's pretty sick, dude. I think that's pretty sick. Congratulations, kids. You are all part of the not vampire club.
The oldest girl kind of goes, "Oh, good. That's better than not being that."
Can everybody get out of my area now? My bad luck tends to rub off on people, and I don't want that to happen.
Well, you all live here, so you can't ask them to leave.
I mean, just don't be in the basement. If more people make things worse, to be perfectly honest.
I have no way of knowing if that's true or not.
Plus, you're
I'm a frog who lives in a basement. I did not agree to that. I did not ever agree to that.
I think you did. Now, kids, I'm going to need you to tell us everything you know about what happened that fateful night/nights.
When you say that, the youngest girl just immediately launches into a spiel that I can really only describe as like a Luis from Ant-Man recap of just like everything that happened.
Great.
80% of which is not relevant to the story. But make me I'm trying to think, what check would this be to just get useful information out of this little girl's ramblings? I guess investigation.
Oh, are you sure it can't be perception? Or
Please.
Please, I have a -1 intelligence.
I also have -1 for this.
8.
Oh, 16.
I have a +4, and I got a 6 total.
Harold got the highest. He got 16.
I hate that.
Harold, being the youngest, I guess, is fluent in child speak. And you are able to gather a few things. Basically, this girl, as for the first incident itself, the girl heard like a crash, which was presumably the window breaking. And when she sort of awoke and figured out what was going on, the girl in the bunk, like 2 down from her, wasn't moving, and there was blood on her. Says it in the way that you would assume a child who doesn't really understand what's going on is. Interestingly, from the way she's described, this is presumably the second case, actually, because remember, there were 2 kids who were bitten in the orphanage. She's describing the second one. And the other information that you're able to get that might possibly be helpful is during the day, this girl had been sent to Timothy just for a checkup on some allergies that she had had. She had worked in the fields under a Mr. Crane, and the orphanage on that day had been visited by Lord Wainwright, which is a fairly common occurrence, it seems.
Tell us more about this Lord Wainwright.
Again, she kind of goes into a whole spiel, at which point one of the older kids stops her. Says, "Oh, he's a very nice man. He's an orphan himself, and so he takes very good care of us. He sponsors much of the orphanage, always makes sure that we're doing okay. A very kind man. Visits often."
Interesting.
What's he visit for? What's he need to see?
No, he just wants to make sure that his sponsorship is going to good use and that all the children are well cared for.
Was he close with any particular children?
I swear to it.
Not that you know of, actually. Or not that the girl knows of. Not that just sort of, he was a sponsor of the orphanage who cared a lot about how it was running.
Interesting.
I'm also pointing out in chat, a lot of people are saying, it's Lord Wainwright, Bruce Wayne is Batman, Lord Wainwright is the vampire. The question now becomes, do you think I would do something that obvious?
Yes!
Or do you think I would do something that obvious because it's funny? You have to weigh your options as to whether, like, which path I would take. You guys got to figure it out. Anyway.
Interesting.
That's what you know.
He sounds too nice not to be suspicious.
There's anything we've learned in our many, many days as monster hunters is that you can never trust someone if they're too nice.
For real. All right, Frog, you're with us.
What? What?
Let's go. I don't need to put the leash on you. You're a full adult, I think.
Leash? Did I not state before about the bad luck thing that this is all a result of my own bad luck?
Leash it is. Okay.
What is happening?
Tie him up in the rope and pull him along.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
You'll learn to avoid it. Yeah.
Glib is now in bindings. Great.
So, okay, let me run through this out of character real quick. The girl said that on the day of the attack, she visited Timothy for medicine, worked in the field for Mr. Crane, and what was the thing with Lord Wainwright?
He came to visit, which is supposedly a regular occurrence.
Okay, so we got 3 sort of clues. And then visited.
Well,
how thick is the leash? Is the leash like a rope, like a thick rope, or is it fabric?
It's a thick rope. It's
a thick rope. Okay. Do you see the sizzling?
Surprisingly strong for his size.
Okay. Do you see like the slight steam? Like it won't break the leash, obviously, but do you see like the slight steam as it like sizzles on his skin a little bit?
Like, ooh, that's not normal.
No.
My body secretes a mucus that melts fabrics. I'm assuming these have fibers in them.
Yeah. That's what a rope's made out of.
Well, hey, Lan, listen. Burn. You're going to be a vital part of this team. You say you're unlucky. Unlucky people weed out vampire attacks. So, you're coming with us for your safety.
I don't know if that's true. Did you say that rope burn emits steam, child?
I thought the steam was rope burn. It made sense to me. It can get really itchy. So like,
how often does rope burn emit smoke and or steam?
I don't need to answer that to you, guy.
Does he get burned by ropes often?
Listen, it's a process. It's not a permanent fix. It's a temporary fix to a temporary problem. He won't be a rope kid forever.
That's right. I'm a problem. I'm a problem.
Don't forget it, baby.
Yeah.
I just if I'm gonna be forced to come with you guys, which again is a bad idea, to just need that stated out front. You're Prince, right?
Prince, yes.
Okay. The child is
Harold.
Who?
Harold of Death.
Don't call him Harry. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, really don't call him Harry.
Okay, all right.
Like, why did you not?
I'm glad that
that was very good, Mike.
Harold, and you are Owen. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so I have Harold, Prince, Owen. Okay, whatever happens to all of you as a result of me being here, I apologize. It's not a choice. This stuff just happens.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Let's get a move on.
Yeah.
Which one?
I assure you, we are very experienced in this hunting field.
You've said that repeatedly.
Because it's true.
It's so true.
Right.
As we're like dragging him along, so you've been living in this town for a minute. Which one of those guys is the most suspicious, you think, huh?
Me, probably.
No, the ones from the story, Timmy or Crane or the nice guy.
Well, I mean, the reason that I'm staying here is that nobody really is suspicious. I mean, for the Wainwright, he just kind of comes to check on the kids a couple of times. Crane is the field manager, and I mean, everyone else seemed fairly nice. I'm not 100% certain.
He's naive. We go with our own instincts.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
You are so intense all of the time.
Correct.
The word you're looking for is professional.
Yeah,
focused.
Professional.
I'm starting to wonder about your professionalism, seeing how many times you've said it, and that worries me more.
To Crane.
Okay.
Enough questions.
All right, so Glib, you do not work under Crane. There are a few different sort of field managers of different areas.
Gotcha.
Crane is not one that you are familiar with, but you have a general idea of like where his field is, so you are able to lead the other three to it. And coming up on the barn where he has his operations, it doesn't seem like there's anyone home necessarily. Like, you don't really hear anything from in there.
Gotcha.
It's dark. There's no lights on inside. And it is like the middle of the day. So, for what that's worth, there are pigs outside, of course. You can perception check if you want to get some more stuff. Or...
Okay. So this is it. I don't know if it's more suspicious that he's not here in the middle of the day or not. I'd assume a vampire would be home. Can we go back to the orphanage now? I really don't like being outside.
No, listen, it's good for you. Nature's beautiful, man.
Really isn't. I am a frog.
You know,
this is.
I really think, no matter what species you are, there's a lot of herbal remedies out there that could really ease your mind. You seem like a real anxious guy.
I am the most unlucky being in existence, and I am a fragile creature.
Yeah, but have you considered, like...
That would probably give me cancer immediately.
It's actually
no.
Tree cancer, so that would be very difficult.
We're talking. I'm talking about the stuff that comes from the ground, dude. That stuff is good.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's. How many frogs have you given smoke?
I smoke out with the frogs in the backyard all the time.
I don't know if I should believe that or not, and I don't know if it's scary or if that's true.
They have good stories, so speak for yourself.
I am the only talking frog in existence to my knowledge.
Not for me.
I don't know what any of you are talking about, because Mom and Dad say I'm not allowed. Can we get to someone else now?
Is there like a house nearby? Like an obvious like Crane's house?
There is the barn, and that's pretty much like the only building that seems associated with this. If maybe he has a house in town, but there's not one like right next to it.
Is the barn like locked and stuff?
Do you want to try going into the barn? Like, how are you finding out if are you looking or are you barging in? I ask because it is Harold asking.
Okay. Or is it nighttime right now?
It is like early to mid-afternoon.
Okay. Just had to gauge the danger levels here.
Harold hard spaced out during that conversation and looked to see if the barn was locked or if there was any impediment to getting in.
You don't see any.
Okay. Well, who says he isn't in there? Or there's nothing in there? Basically, I have a strong urge to run through that door, and it's taking a lot of self-control not to, so I need you guys' thoughts.
They're using the leash on Glib. They don't have a spare one for Harold.
Is this normal? Does he do this a lot?
Harold, I'm going to need you to take 3 steps back so we can take a few steps forward and take the lead on this one.
Harold takes a step back. So, to answer your question, Frog, no, I am not usually this restrained.
I am so scared. I am going to die today. This is...
Mike, did you look in? Or did you just...
No, I just looked at the outside, what was available to us, and apparently no.
I would like to take a peek inside the barn.
So you crack the door open. It's fairly dark in there. It's not like pitch black. There's light from the windows, but there's no light source. Like there's no lanterns or fire or anything in there. So make me a perception check. You don't need dark vision or anything. It's not that dark, like I said, but perception check.
Before I do that, would casting Create Bonfire help me at all?
Yeah, if you want to light it on fire. I
mean,
be careful, but
I trust if I do this, I'm not going to burn this barn down.
You're going to need to read me the spell description.
There is a lot of trust right there.
It's a 5-foot square. You create a bonfire on the ground.
Also, I'm going to interject really quick. I spoke really quickly after Nathan started speaking or ended speaking there. So, Chad, if you noticed any overlap, like in that moment, let me know. Because that was a moment where there would have been some if the thing is going to... So, Clip that if you can, and I'll go back and see if that fixed it, because that would be a good indicator. Anyway,
it says
continue.
Specifically the bonfire ignites flammable objects in its area that aren't being worn or carried, so I'm not going to do that.
Okay, yeah, this is like a barn. There's hay, there's wooden objects. Okay.
Check.
Also, barns are notoriously extremely flammable structures.
Yeah. One of the most common buildings to burn down.
At least like a little stone. Like, I don't know. Okay. 14.
14 is solid. This was not a particularly hard check. What you see in there is a lot of things that you would sort of expect from a barn, especially, there's like buckets of slop for the pigs, there's hay and stuff. It's not anything really remarkable. The two things that you notice are, number one, there is a workbench that seems to have some sort of magical things on it. Not a lot, but like it's definitely some sort of magical research table in some capacity, and a scarecrow leaning against the back wall. You guys don't know everything. Have patience.
I relay that to Prince and Harold and Glib.
All right, keep your eyes peeled. There's something amiss here.
This sure does.
What is a farmhand doing with magical items?
We are a hop, skip, and a jump, no pun intended, please, away from Bowenberg. So magic is pretty common around here.
It's a good point, actually.
Before a farmhand? What do you need magic for? Wait, what, can I do an investigation on the table to see like what the magical items are?
You're going to have to go in and get closer, but if you do that, yes. Not from like the door where you're sitting.
I am also stealthing in. I'm being as stealthy as possible.
Gonna be a tough roll to stealth into the front door of a dark barn, but sure, make me a stealth roll and hope you roll high.
All right, let's go, baby.
That was immediate.
11?
Momo.
Okay.
Momo, so, I need to be the one with bad luck this episode. I don't know if we talk this through.
It rubs off.
Prince.
It's a good point.
Prince kind of barges past Owen, very sneakily, like opening the door to the barn farther and letting just so much light in as he kind of like tiptoes over to the magical workbench. And you actually do get over there. So make me an investigation check.
All right. Oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with me today?
You're in the presence of pre-Death God Glib.
Well, the good news about this is that check was actually a red herring, because the second you get over there and look over the table, the scarecrow on the back wall immediately jumps towards you.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Glib immediately jumps backward through the door. He, in the bindings, jumps all the way, like, tries to do his 25-foot jump away.
I'm holding a rope in one hand. I'm holding Harold's collar in the other.
Do they come with me? How strong is my jump? I am only 3 foot tall, and I am the proportional size of a frog. The proportional strength of a frog, so...
you don't have any sort of supernatural abilities yet, so probably not that strong.
Okay, so I jump
if anything,
long
you, like,
as the
knock them
is.
over.
Yeah.
You don't pull them.
The only thing that's
like,
keeping me up is Harold pulling me in the other direction towards the fight.
Yeah, you don't get, imagine you tie a dumbbell to yourself and then throw it. You might get sort of bowled over, but you're not getting dragged.
Okay.
Anyway, luckily, a moment after this scarecrow sort of lunges at you, you hear kind of a gravelly laugh from it, and the scarecrow dissipates, revealing inside the scarecrow's form a tiny wooden doll floating on a little magical pan.
Fuck off. No
Now, you don't know what this is.
It's my favorite.
But the audience might... Well, it's not the same puppet, but it is the same type of thing as a character you might know. Remember, Dramaticus is not unique. There are other of his type of magical constructs out in Vontrell, and Mr. Crane seems to be one of them. And he kind of like, sorry about that. You were trying to sneak in and I couldn't resist.
What the hell is going on here? I need somebody to explain.
I'd like you to explain first, since you were the one barging into my barn.
Is the scarecrow still in there?
Frog! In here,
Yes!
dude!
Kind of.
I have my knife pointed at it.
Is Mr. Crane always a floating puppet?
What?
Come here!
Yeah, I don't think Glib would know this. You've never met Mr. Crane.
I've been here like a week. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Why did we bring you?
I don't know. I told you to leave me behind.
Good point.
This was your idea, dude.
What are
You're
you
like
talking
begging us to
about?
come along. I could see it.
So, though the wooden doll does not really have notable facial expressions, you see him just kind of like sitting there on his little floating hand, waiting for all this yelling to stop. And when it finally does, he goes, so, care to explain what's going on with you breaking into my barn?
I was not breaking in. I
We're
was
actually here-
entering
Yeah, we were entering
silently.
silently under professional investigation.
Oh my god, they're hunting for a vampire. They wanted to know if you were him. Why are you guys so much like this?
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, dude. We're just doing our jobs.
Mr. Crane, we're sorry about breaking in. These three professionals are apparently vampire hunters, and they thought that you might be suspicious.
At this, you see a slight shift in the demeanor of the puppet. Again, no facial expressions to be seen, but you can kind of get a sense of sort of from the way that the posture changes that he's being more serious at this point. So he goes, "Oh, well, I'm glad to see that they're doing something about it. I not too fond of things picking on my animals."
So it's a problem here too. Great, amazing. You're not the vampire?
He kind of looks down at his wooden body
Absolutely rhetorical.
and looks back up.
Like, great. Do you know who the vampire is? Also rhetorical.
Well, no, he should. If you know, you should answer.
If you're saying it's rhetorical,
Do
he
you
just kinda
know
sits-
who the vampire is? Yes or no? I want to go home, please.
No.
Amazing.
If
Great.
I did,
This is.
You would not be here.
Can I roll an insight
I
check on this?
presume.
Thank you very
You
much.
can insight check him.
Glib immediately turns around to start walking away, and the rope just starts getting dragged with him. Like,
Harold dives for the rope.
I rolled a
it doesn't
12 on-
stop much. You're 12.
So easy.
I got a 12 on my insight.
A 12 on your insight. It's a puppet. It doesn't have a face. You're not really used, like, you can't really get anything off of it. You're not used to this sort of interaction with a being like this.
Listen, man, did any of your pigs get killed?
He goes, oh, yeah, it was my pigs that started getting killed.
Oh, do you have any? Where do you keep those pigs at? We'd like to see them if we could.
Do I have any of the bodies lying around? I was gonna still chop them up, but people didn't seem too receptive to that idea, so I think I threw them in the compost heap over out of Field Down.
Cool.
You're welcome to dig through, but it's been like a month.
And where do you keep?
So there's some stuff on top.
And the alive for you, Matt. The alive pigs are just around.
Yeah, this is in the center of a
Cool.
large field.
Prince, you're on dead body duty. I'm gonna talk to the ones that are still kicking.
It's been a month. They're fully decomposed. There's nothing to even examine there at this point.
That's not my problem. I turn around and see a frog dragging a child through the dirt.
Very slowly, because Glib is also small, so he's just like, can you let go? I'm not you. I don't know why I'm here, man.
I will not lose such a classic battle of wills.
What is happening?
I took up both of them. And said, we're
Good
going
work,
to talk
Harold.
to the pigs.
Why? Why do I need to be along for this? I don't need to be here.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so let me get the breakdown. So Prince is going to check the compost heap. Owen is going to talk to the pigs. What are Glib and Harold doing?
We're being dragged by.
I'm dragging them with
Owen
me
is,
to
Owen
the,
is
to the
taking you.
pigs.
Okay.
Unless Prince wants one of them.
Nah, you can take them both.
All right, cool.
I don't want to deal with these two.
Then in that case, we will do, I guess, the group of three first.
Sure.
So you guys head to, I guess, just the nearest pig pen.
Yeah. I'll just dump them beside me. They won't get far. And I will once again cast Speak with Animals on one of these pigs.
Do I give the pig a different voice, or do I just assume that all
pig
pigs
accent.
sound the same? I don't want to think of a different pig voice, so maybe I'm just gonna. The pigs don't sound that different to human ears, at the very least. So sure.
Sweet.
You cast Speak with Animals on the nearest pig.
Great. What up, dude?
Hello.
Yeah. So some of your buddies been dying, huh?
Yeah.
You see what do it?
I saw this a little weird thingy came into the field and the pig died.
Little. How little we talking?
It wasn't that little. It was actually kind of big.
Kind of big.
It was over on the other side of the field. Everything's small over there. Far away, small.
Right, for sure. And do you happen to know where they came from? Did they come out of the woods? Did they?
That's a good question. Do I have the? Let me see. How well? I'm gonna have to roll a history check for a pig, which is probably quite a minus. Though pigs do have good memory, so I'll give them a slight bonus to that. That's a K. That's a nat one. So the pig. A nat one means something unhelpful happens. So pig's gonna be like, "Oh, your pig came out of the sky."
Out of the sky.
It was a shape on the other side field, and it came out. It just dropped out, and it bit a pig, and then the pig was dead.
Wow.
Do you have any slop?
No. All right, gang, we're heading out.
No, I wanted a donut.
Out of your shot.
The rudest animal speaker of all time.
Yeah, you're really just a jerk to these humble pigs.
Other animals, they're not people.
I'm always with the frogs, okay? I don't... Oh.
Not at the moment, you're not.
Listen,
I would dare
first
say.
frog I've hung out with that doesn't want to get lit with me, so that's not my issue.
I don't want to get nothing with you. I want to go home. I don't want to be here.
Dude, you were begging and pleading with your body language that you needed to get out of that space, okay? You know, a healthy home is a healthy mind. Living in a basement
I was begging and pleading with body language to get out of this body because I am a frog and I used to be a guy. This is...
Hey, you know, does life not all toss us a curveball?
What's up?
Does life not all toss us a curveball? Life is like the wizard, and you know, hurdles are like getting turned into a frog. Okay, you work through it.
I want you to look down at your hands right now.
Yeah.
How many fingers do you have?
Yeah, like 5 or 10.
I miss my fucking ring fingers, man. What sort of goddamn curveball is that? I have 8 fingers in total, and my fucking heels are halfway up my shins now. I can jump 25 feet, and I can't go out in the sun for more than 30 fucking minutes without having to generate water because my skin dries out immediately. This is not a curveball. This is a curse, and I don't want to be around you fucking people.
Silver linings, man. I wish I could jump 20 feet.
Plus, like, the ring finger is like the lamest finger. It does
That's true.
Nothing.
It goes like pinky at the bottom, ring.
It's literally decoration. It shouldn't even be there.
If I tried.
I mean, if I was going to choose one to lose, it'd be the ring.
Right?
I don't know. I just think you got to count your blessings, man.
You can, like, wrap the fucking rope around his neck.
Oh, no, you know. I know all the tricks.
He's tried that one before. I was about to say, on that note, let's cut over to Prince. So we'll, flash back a couple minutes. Prince, you head out to a shed, not even really a barn, in the back end of the field. You can smell the stench of it before you enter. This is where the sort of pig slop is generated.
Pig slop.
You can imagine the smell. They just kind of chunk everything there. And I don't know how pig farming works, but in my fantasy world, they just chunk all the garbage in a place and then feed it to the pigs. Maybe that is how it worked in fantasy times. I don't know.
He's feeding pigs to the pigs? What an ass.
I like the idea of you just saying this to yourself alone in the locker room. He's feeding pigs to pigs? What an asshole. Dickhead.
Anyway.
Do I find anything useful here?
Oh, I just said you approached. I mean, have you got in yet? Like, yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to investigate the outside or anything, or do you want to just go right in?
I guess I look around for footprints.
Interestingly, you don't see any footprints.
But can I tell someone's been here before? Like, been here recently?
Make a perception check.
That's a 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perception check is good. So, I'm trying to think like what information you would even be able to tell because there's no footprints. A 19 is pretty like you can tell like the door to the shed. Like if you look really closely, there's like marks in the ground where the door has been opened. You can't tell how long ago that happened. Like someone opened the door relatively recently.
I go inside. I hold my breath and go inside.
You hold your breath, go inside, and there is a large pile sort of dug into the ground a little bit of just slop and garbage.
Oh, this place is awful. Taste it. Do I really have to dig through here to find something? You're not going to make me do that.
If you want to dig, I'm not making you do shit.
Owen's idea.
I'm not making you do shit. You can do what you want. You know what I'm making you do? Play Dungeons and Dragons with me. That's the only thing I'm guilty of.
You know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I will. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go. This place sucks so bad. Actually, let me see if I can do anything here. I want to see if do I have any sort of skills that I can use here. I am taking note.
I want to roll for dig through garbage.
I don't want to dig through the garbage because I don't think there's any. I genuinely don't think there's anything here.
Maybe not.
I do think it's weird that this place has been disturbed, but there's no footprints, which makes me think, as someone that is a monster hunter and familiar with spells, someone cast Pass Without Trace, and therefore they left no footprints, but we're here.
Do you have any sort of detect magic spells or anything?
I have no spells. I'm a fighter.
Right. Is everyone fighting?
I'm a ranger. So I have spells, but I've used 2 of my 3 spell slots talking to pigs.
I am a barbarian.
Fighter, ranger, barbarian. I will also say, remember, this is like an investigation thing. If you take too long, things might happen, but you can go at your own pace. If you really want to use a specific spell, you can just be like, yeah, we rest for the night and pick the investigation up
I
next.
do kind of have...
Again, things might happen, but you can do that.
I do kind of have my decanter of endless water, of holy water. And I can set it to geyser, which produces 30 gallons of water that gushes forth in a geyser 30 feet long and 1 foot broad.
You want to power wash it?
I'm going to power wash.
That's what I'm hearing. You want to power wash it.
I'm going to power wash inside to see if I reveal anything.
When you say power wash inside, like the garbage pile or like the walls, what are you doing inside?
I'm trying to reveal something.
All right. I assume that's not anything that you have to roll for.
No.
Okay, in that case, you blast a jet of high pressure water into the pile of garbage, which sprays garbage everywhere. I don't know what you were expecting that to do, but you do find in the garbage pile a sort of gray, cold pig corpse. You can see like a foot sticking out.
The hell? I want to use the water to kind of like, you know, like how they pressure wash things out.
You try... I feel like I should make you roll for this, but I haven't had to do a roll like this in a D&D game before, and I'm not sure what to do.
Chisel.
You know what? Fuck it. Sure.
Sure.
We'll allow it. Yeah, you are able to... I mean, pigs are pretty big. You're able to pressure wash, like, some of it, and you can definitely see it is like a cold, gray pig corpse, not nearly as decayed as you would expect for how, like, deep it is in the pile. You can't get the whole thing out, because it's deep in there, but you can confirm what it is, at the very least.
Hello? Does it answer?
You see a little wiggle.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Owen!
Oh, shit. I'm running with 2 toddlers in hand. Toddler-sized creatures.
two toddlers, by which you mean a 12-year-old and a 20-year-old that are both just small.
Yes.
Yep.
Give me the fucking rope. Give me the rope. All right, Harold, I'm gonna need you to get ready to be in beast mode because we've got a vampig on our hands.
You have a what?
Pray.
Keep me away from that. What's
right.
happening?
Owen, you got your ability to talk to things ready?
Yeah.
All right. And I wrap the rope around and I pull this thing out.
Excuse me, is this the same rope that me and...
Oh, I untied you.
Oh, great. Glib's running. He's not sticking around here.
I got nothing to stop him.
Can Harold make an athletics check to tackle and grapple Glib?
Yes.
Why do I need to be here?
Yes.
All right.
It's the origins of Glib. You're gonna be here one way or another.
My athletics is +5, and I rolled a 19. So
Oh my god!
we got a 24.
You can oppose it. You can oppose it, Panda, but like, good luck.
Okay, what do I need to roll? You got a
I believe it's
24?
just like a strength check.
Lovely. Okay, I only have a +1 on strength.
You can't beat it with a nat 20, so it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Well, a nat 20 would beat it.
Nat 20 would be 21, wouldn't it?
I like Pathfinder logic, which is, I don't know if this is an official or unofficial rule, but in the Pathfinder campaign I played, it is numerically, you treat nat 20s like 40s. You double it.
Interesting.
So... but to be fair, in Pathfinder, enemies can have like a +30 something to their rolls, so that actually matters. But like, I like that for the purposes of opposing checks. A 20 is practically a 40.
I'm sorry, my thing is having a problem and won't roll the dice for me.
Oh no!
Someone in chat confirmed my path. Thank you.
Okay, hold on. I need to actually break out physical dice for the first time.
Hobby.
I don't know if people in chat, I have 3 dice life counters from Magic the Gathering that I've been playing with this whole time.
Please.
Those are my dice today.
Don't fuck me. It's the first time I'm using physical dice. That is a 16.
Good, but not good enough.
But not good enough.
Michael?
Harold, so amped up to be ready for beast mode, even sees you running and immediately pounces on you. and gets you into like an arm bar and leg bar, just like holding you on the ground.
God.
As that's happening. Oh no, you go ahead.
No, all he's saying is like, why? Why do I need to be here?
Seeing you go back to a pathetic life in a basement would physically make me sick.
So motivational.
Go, you fucking tiny beast.
Never.
Regardless, as that is happening, Prince, to pull this large pig out of the pile, you're going to need to make a strength check. That's.
I get a +1 to strength.
Can I help?
Yeah.
Can I
help me?
I cut myself off to not give you a hint, but yes, if you can have Owen help.
That was a 19. Sure. Let me crit fish. Yeah, I'll go with a 19.
19.
19 is more than enough. So, with another burst of, I guess I should now disgustingly add wet garbage, because you did power wash the room. with this sploosh of wet garbage, this gray, squealing, very obviously fanged hog just comes flying out of this thing. It does seem briefly dazed because you just pulled it out of what was basically a garbage coma for a while. You don't know how long it's going to stay that way.
I'm going to tie it up while it's dazed.
Sleight of hand check for not tying.
Not tying.
Okay. All right. I'm hog tying this hog. Okay, that's a 16. Not bad.
16 is solid. You don't know exactly how long it'll hold, but it seems decently hog-tied as it makes these horrible sort of dying, squealing sounds, which I'm not going to imitate because I don't think I could.
Owen, tell it to calm down.
I mean, if I got to talk to it, it's got to be okay. I can't speak with animals.
Read me the exact descriptor on that spell again, because I don't think being undead would stop it, but I want to be sure.
You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at a minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived. Yada, yada, yada.
Okay. So, I'm going to say, I don't know if technically the rules would change this, but I'm just going to still say it's a beast because I think that's fair. You hear the squeals not actually change that much, at least for now. It's still basically just screaming. Yeah.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. Calm down. Calm down.
It takes a couple minutes because, again, this thing has been through a lot. Actually, not that much. It was kind of just in garbage darkness for a while. But that, in and of itself, is a little traumatizing. But eventually, the squealing subsides.
Great. Now, listen. Are you aware that you are a vampire pig?
Should I change? What?
An evil pig?
What? What? What's a vampire?
Oh my god,
Nat! Alright, listen. I need you to think.
I suck. I know I suck.
No,
I'm honest about it at least.
I need you to think really hard, okay? You got attacked. Do you remember that?
Kind of.
Kind of. Good. Did you?
This is just my brother, and me count donut, isn't it? I don't know if anyone in the chat watches that show, but anyway, continue.
Do you remember what attacked you? Do you remember what it looks like?
It thinks for a second, and then let me think about if it would have seen. I don't think it would have. I think it would have been attacked from behind. In which case, no, I don't think so.
Don't think so. Okay. Did you see any of your buddies get attacked?
No, I just felt the many sharp teeth.
Sharp
many?
Teeth, yeah.
Many?
Fang, bite.
Oh, I can't hear this. You have to translate. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not true.
Like, was it multiple things, do you think? Or was it just like suddenly something was on top of you and you were like, whoa?
The second one thing from what it knows, at least that it saw. Well, not so, at least that it was aware of.
What else could I ask it? Gang, what else should I ask this thing? He's not being much help.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Did it... I don't know. I thought it would be able to see something. So you told me I just dug up this thing for no reason at this point?
Hey, man, I'm 0 for 3 on useful pigs right now.
There's also a really good point that Amy just made, which is that pigs can't look up. Pigs are physically incapable of looking up. The other pig that you talked to said it came from the sky.
Right.
So notably, that might be why it didn't see it, is because it physically couldn't. If it got jumped on, it physically could not have. Which I kind of just realized, but that worked. That was a nice little synergy there.
All it said was, it got bit from behind. It thinks there was only one. That's it. That's pretty much all I've gotten from everybody. Is there's one. They don't know where they're coming from. They don't know what they look like.
And can I see the bite marks?
Yeah, make me a I guess like a medicine check to look at the bite marks in detail.
Damn it.
Can I do this?
Yeah. You can all if you would like to.
What do you have to medicine?
I have a +4.
Oh, I have a +0, so I'll give you the help action.
Well,
oh, sweet. That is a 23.
Hell yeah.
23. All right. You guys have been smart. You might figure this out pretty quick. So you investigate these bite marks, right? And the first thing that you notice, that everybody notices, is, of course, the two sort of iconic bite marks of a vampire, the two fangs. But there are definitely more than that. Not as noticeable, smaller, but there were there are other marks around the larger bite marks. From what exactly you can't tell because you're not a doctor.
How many?
More. I don't know.
So wait, there's main bite marks, and then there's other smaller bite marks.
Yes.
Like belonging to separate creatures other than the main one.
Let me think about. Again, because you are... I'm trying to think of your background, what you would be able to know. Right? You are vampire hunters from
monster
Bowenberg.
Hunters. We're just currently hunting.
Specifically, my chosen monster is undead.
If you are monster hunters, I will give you... It looks more like it's probably one thing. Mm-hmm. You can't be 100% sure, but the pattern of it, it's not like they're all in different places. They're all clustered up in a fairly tight pattern.
Interesting. Well, Prince, what does that mean?
I got nothing. Do I can I roll a history check to know if I'm familiar with a creature like this?
You can, but it probably wouldn't be a history check. I mean, it wouldn't be a history check. It would be I'll give you a nature check. I'll give you a nature check to see if you can identify animal markings and creature markings.
That's a natural 20.
Hey. Really? 20. Okay, very good. You guys are gonna blow through my little mystery with all your good luck. It is definitely a bite from a... okay, how about this? Let me think exactly sort of what clues I want to give you. The larger teeth are definitely not entirely natural, obviously. Those are something that has been given vampirism. But the teeth as they stand, the marks, they look like one bite from a larger creature. Very sharp teeth going around, one sort of, this is the shape that I'm drawing, which I'm kind of drawing an oval-like shape for the podcast listeners that can't see the visuals, but this is kind of what I'm going for there.
All right, so we're not looking for a human vampire, is what I'm getting from this. Is that correct? A deduction I can make from that?
It's definitely not human.
All right, we're not looking for a human vampire. We're looking for a creature with an oblong shape bite.
Are we getting the vibe that this creature, with or without vampirism, would have sharp teeth? To a degree.
As a vampire hunter, the other, it makes big fangs, the other teeth look sharp. I would say vampirism probably isn't known for making other teeth sharp. It doesn't alter other ones, so presumably.
Okay.
Do we know of any other, is there a guild of monster hunters? I'm trying to see if there's a place where we can go for knowledge to be hey, what is a creature that would make this bite?
By the way, I'm just saying this to all of you guys. If you have Twitch open, please close it, because I don't want them giving you hints as to the mystery in chat. Because I'm reading it. I don't want that. You guys don't get any hints from chat. But is there a guild? I mean, not in this town. If there was a guild of vampire hunters in town, they would have hired them and not you. You could send away for information, but like...
Well...
We're getting somewhere. I can feel it, Owen.
Here's what I'm thinking, okay? A little girl said she visited Timothy, she went to Mr. Crane, and she got visited by Lord Wainwright. Mm-hmm. If we've pretty much deduced that this bite got more sharp teeth than there should be, I only know one of those three that got sharp teeth. I think we need to visit Timothy.
Really? Oh, the Dragonborn. Oh, because it would go like this. A much more narrow bite.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
All right. Let's visit Timothy after this short break.
After this short break. All right. Do we have any announcements or anything to do in the break before we get back into the grand mystery?
I mean, other than the fact that on our Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, hello. Sorry, we did a lot of visual bits you did not get to see.
We're great at playing to our podcasters.
I did ask you a question about what you'd like to see in the merch store, and your questions have been answered. So now we have more Good Bid merch, fellow merch on the way with the art, which is coming, I believe, by next week. So be patient. It's coming.
I can't guarantee that, but hopefully 2 weeks. I'm working on it. It's being worked on.
It's coming.
It's being worked on.
Other than that, if you want to see us break down this episode and talk about the character creation process, you'll have to tune into our after show backstage on our Patreon level $5 tier, which is, I think, God tier. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I as well am also very excited about hearing the character creation process because, as I mentioned earlier, they did not tell me. I'm going to go ahead and while we're here, now that the character's been revealed, I'm going to share this screenshot, and I'm not going to upload it to the thing. But what this screenshot is in our quote-unquote secret group chat, which is just our normal group chat where we plan stuff, but minus Panda.
Love you guys.
I said, I messaged, I said, let me know your characters when you're ready. And then in order, they all, within a span of, let me check the exact, like, within a span of 60 seconds, sent me, like, Prince Hardy, level 4 human fighter, Harold Hardy, level 4 human barbarian, Owen Hardy, level 4 human ranger, all in sequence in the exact same format. And then it's just me going, I see you three have been talking without me. And it's formatted so nicely on my, I'll upload it, so I'll post it on Twitter or something. Not that Twitter's a hellhole right now, but whatever. It's a very good screenshot. I was very caught off guard. But anyway, are we ready to get back into it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, someone
Let's
said
go talk to Timothy.
Someone said Panda's a little big in his frame, and he is. His camera drifted, and I didn't. Mike was the only one who was free of that. I don't know. Anyway, if this is the only camera bug we have, I'll take it. Regardless, yes. So you guys are heading out to go see Timothy?
Yeah.
Yes. Are we retying up the frog?
I was gonna say Harold's outside. What happened in there? I'm still. Stop elbowing me. Do you have elbows?
Harold, I gotta teach you how to do the sleeper hold. You gotta sleeper hold them.
I want to learn. I want to learn how to do arm bars.
Trying to do an arm bar
if you
on a
just choke them, they go out too quick.
That's you got to be a little bit older for me to teach you an armbar.
Ball of steam over in the corner as I'm burning his clothes as he's holding me down.
As you all are leaving,
can I
unless you have
ask
something else you want to do here.
that? Can we say that we asked the pig, "Do you want to be dead?"
Oh yeah.
How would a pig? I don't think a pig Does a pig understand the metaphysical concepts of life and death?
You want to be put out your misery, man?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone do a research study on that. The pig just goes, no, I don't think so.
He said yes.
You fucker!
Yo! Oh, dude!
I mean, probably smart. Like, vampirism tends to spread, but like, Jesus Christ, dude.
He said yes.
Dude, this dude was supposed to be so kind to animals. This dude was supposed to be such a nature guy. And he still is, okay? It's a vampire pig.
It is a vampire.
No one ever in the history of the world will ever know that you just did that under the kid.
No, exactly.
Oh my God.
Down through the heart.
Oh my God.
And
we say a prayer.
And with a pained squeal that only Owen understands, the vampire dies.
Holy shit.
Owen's just a secret sociopath.
Oh my God, Nathan.
Rest in peace, brave soul.
All right.
Mother Nature.
I'm interrupting you all on purpose. I know this is not an audio bug. I'm interrupting you all on purpose. Everyone needs to make a perception check as you're leaving, by the way.
Oh my God.
Christ alive.
I don't think I have anything
shit.
in perception. That's a 13.
I got a 19.
That's enough, so the rest doesn't need to be done.
Okay.
Harold, you see, as you're leaving, a scarecrow kind of watching you from a nearby field that was not there before. And when it sees you, like, looking towards it, it kind of, like, dashes towards you in a sort of scary, sort of shambling way. But then when it gets to you, assuming you don't, like, stab it or something, it just kind of stops, and you hear the voice of Mr. Craig goes, "What's going on in there? I heard some unpleasant noises."
One of your pigs got freaking vampired, so we had to kill him.
You see the scarecrow illusion, formed fully, kind of like slump its shoulders a little bit. He goes, "Well, I'm glad it's not targeting the pigs anymore."
What do you mean?
I don't want to kill my pigs.
What? No, the
Wait,
pig...
you knew a vampire pig was targeting your pigs?
I just meant the vampire in general, not the vampire pig.
No, the pig he wasn't vampired before, idiot. The vampire is still at large. What are you talking about?
Well, the vampire's not hurting the pigs. Hasn't been a pig dead in like 2 weeks.
What are you talking about?
That's kind of messed up, dude.
Oh, really? Is that messed up, Owen?
It's kind of messed up, dude. You care more about the pigs than people?
That was a notable thing that Harold just did. So I'm cutting it again. The scarecrow kind of leans in and goes, "What about Timothy?"
He said the pigs were dying. And if you are not evil... Someone else do this! I don't like logic stuff!
I do want to point out, the pigs were dying, the pigs dying stopped, and then people were being targeted. So the pig, that he was not lying there. As far as you know, the pigs have not been targeted for a bit. And he kind of...
I have a question. What did Timothy look like? Like, what kind of dragon was he?
Oh, I had the color in mind, and I don't remember it. Let me Google it. Which types correspond to each. I'm going to Google that. If you have any other questions. I had this, and I don't remember.
I swear to God, if you make us fight a vampire dragon...
Well, we don't know he's lying yet, so that's 0.1.
That would be...
At level 4? Level 4, we're fighting a goddamn vampire dragon.
Blue dragonborn.
Blue dragon.
Blue dragon.
Like what shade of blue?
Great.
Like cerulean, or are we talking like periwinkle?
Closer to cerulean than periwinkle. I'm definitely not I'm not Googling periwinkle. I'm Googling something else.
Promise.
That looks purple to me. That doesn't look blue.
It's like a...
Whatever I was Googling that wasn't periwinkle. Cerulean.
Cerulean's like a vibrant blue.
Closer to that one.
All right. Something's amiss.
Good to know.
Yeah, nope.
Let's go talk to him.
Did we also leave we left the bodies in his care, didn't we?
We did.
He was the mortician.
It's a good thing I definitely took out those vampire children before they turned.
Definitely.
You guys, what?
And
also, for people in chat who think I was Googling something else, I just for the sake of preserving the mystery, I didn't know what those colors looked like, and I was Googling the colors. Please don't take that, to you guys as well, don't take that as a hint. I didn't know what those colors were off the top of my head. Let me be clear. Anyway, continue.
I'm going to talk to Prince outside of earshot of Harold and Glib and be like, listen, this frog is not being that helpful. Why did we bring him again?
Because he was our guy on the inside. When we investigated the room, the glass is broken from the inside, which means someone that was already inside broke out.
Okay, but then now you're the brains, but he's our guy on the inside, right? But then we took him outside.
Oh.
How far away are you from me? Am I are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
I love
What,
that.
did they say something?
I mean, I thought we were just taking him out because he clearly needs it.
Am I trying to bat away Harold? Did you leave us alone?
Should we trying
to bat away?
Matt, shut the fuck up.
I'm the DM. I will not.
Oh my god.
Should we just let him head home? I mean, we're about to. I feel I got a real good feeling about this Timothy guy. I think it's gonna be a big break in the case. I don't know if I want. We can't sacrifice Harold's beast strength on wrangling the frog.
Right. I'll handle it. So we go back over there, and I'm just so Glib, we're gonna let you go.
Oh my god, thank you.
What? But we're going to need you to, again, be our eyes and ears on the inside. If you see anything odd happening, you give us a call.
Sure.
Yeah, just yell really loud out the window. We'll come run.
The basement.
We'll be in contact.
Please don't be. I'll get in contact with you. You'll know. Can you please let me go now?
Yeah, we'll circle back. We'll circle back to this. All right.
Okay, great. Yeah, please don't come back. Don't. If I never see you again, it'll be too soon. Especially you. No,
see you again, buddy.
Don't. You will never see me again.
Silver lining.
I hate you. I hate all of you. You guys suck.
Thanks for your help.
Starts booking it in the other direction, running back to the orphanage.
That guy is a piece of work, man.
He was a noble opponent.
You get turned into a frog once, and
yeah, good job being the rope. Being the rope Harold.
Hey, good job,
I know the role well.
Yes.
Now, at this point, it's probably starting to get a little bit darker.
Oh.
For note, it is starting to approach nighttime, which in this sort of scenario with vampires changes the dynamic of things. So you're still free to do what you want, but just know that going forward.
He'll get home in time.
He's running real fast. Look at him go.
He was sprinting.
He wants to go home so bad. He'll be there in
It's got a dust cloud.
Dashing several times in a row.
Wow.
It's an expeditious retreat. Did
he just leap over a building? That's crazy. He says he's not great, but that's some impressive speed. Yeah. Seriously. Anyway,
so should we let's level here. Do we think he's the vampire? So we're gonna talk to him now, yeah?
You know what? We gotta catch him in the act. We can't go and all guns ablazing you're the vampire. We should follow his movements closely. The vampires are most active at night, as you would know.
That's smart. Let's go to Timothy. Let's tell him we're crashing in for the night, and we'll pick up the investigation when it's safe in the daytime.
Yeah.
But then we'll follow.
I'm sorry, and if he's the bad guy, we're sleeping in his house? I will not sleep in the house of an enemy who might jump me in the middle of the night.
We can find an inn.
We find
Or
logic.
we time espionage. Monster hunter stuff.
Well, okay, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lie. We're gonna tell a lie. You know that thing that Dad said that you're not allowed to do? We can do it because now we're the adults.
You can do it because you're stupid.
Okay.
Listen,
Rude.
Harold. There's no need for that kind of language.
What? Stupid isn't even a swear.
It is a strong language, and we don't use that in this
I'm
family.
a strong boy. I use strong language.
Harold.
That's one of my favorite lines of this whole episode. I'm a strong boy. I use strong language. Very good. Continue.
Find the adults. We're going to do what the adults do. Do what you do. Jeez.
Oh, right. That's what I thought.
All right.
Oh my God.
What's the plan?
Let's go talk to Timothy.
All right. So
back at the wherever he is.
You head back to the apothecary, but by this point, you are out like in the fields, so it's a little bit of a walk.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time you get there, it is dark. It's like recently dark. It's not like the middle of the night. But you get to the apothecary, knock on the door. There is no answer.
As we thought. Knock again.
No. Another knock.
Another one.
There is no answer.
All right.
You want to take a third?
You want to try that one again?
Do we want to pick the lock, or do we just want to cut our losses?
Can we just open the door?
Oh yeah, let's try that.
Is it locked?
It is locked.
Oh.
Does this house like have windows or awnings or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the mortician's room specifically, or wherever his office was, have windows?
I'm gonna say the morgue, or at least the temporary morgue, did not, because it's a morgue, and I imagine those typically don't have windows, at least not in the corpse rooms. But there are windows in the building. Yes, it's a 2-story building, presumably just from like the way structures work. I imagine he probably lives on top, and then the apothecary is on the bottom.
I want to try to scale the side of the building and look in one of the second-story windows.
Oh boy!
Oh my God!
Make me an I guess that's acrobatics or athletics, whichever's higher. I guess that's the typical.
Yes. So
I whisper to Prince, "Hey, at least he's applying himself."
I know, it's very impressive.
He's not killing anything right now. He's actually just like using his skills.
Wait till we hear what the roll is.
9.
He was kind of applying himself. You see Harold kind of like scrabble up a couple feet, grabbing onto the boards of the building, but then like falls off.
I catch
I don't have a fancy description.
One day I will scale anything I desire.
All right, Beast Mode, you gotta relax.
Just like set him down on the ground still.
Oh my God. There he goes.
All right.
I really have nothing to help us look through a second-story window, and I'm also not good at picking locks.
I guess try sleight of hand to pick the lock.
Yeah, do that for now, and then we'll see if something else happens.
Yeah.
That's
Give
a
it a
natural
shot.
20.
Hey! The second the frog
The door
leaves, you have
pops right open.
luck again.
Accurate.
Lore accurate.
Door pops right open. Easy.
Amazing.
All right, we're stealthing. Be stealthy.
Okay.
Make your stealth checks.
And we are all human, so we can't see in the dark. 17.
11.
6.
17, 6, 11. All right, noted. Proceed.
Right, keep your eye. Keep your eyes and ears peeled. I don't know how to. I can't do the man voice and also whisper.
No, that was good. That worked. I want to go. Are we all going? Are we splitting up? What do we want to do?
We're together. We got to stick together.
I say we check the morgue.
Do we have any like torches? I'm sure we do.
You could, if there's not one that you have on you, you could probably.
Oh yeah, I got a torch.
Find some sort of lantern or light source or something. Again, that will make you more noticeable. But yes,
we can't see otherwise.
That's the trade-off.
Yeah, it's the trade-off.
Oh, I just realized I also have a piton. I just didn't know what a piton was, but that could help the scalability. Whoops.
Oh, okay.
Totally didn't know what that was. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, are we lighting a torch?
We're lighting a torch.
Lighting a torch. Head to the morgue. What do we see?
Perception check.
Yes, I am good at it. 16.
19.
2. Yes.
Oh.
Prince is looking directly at the torch and cannot see anything, I imagine.
Just light blind.
At this, the other two Hardy boys, you see nothing remarkably noticeable, at least not sort of just from looking around. The bodies are not there anymore. The bodies that were vamped are gone, though. That is probably the most noticeable thing that you are able to piece out.
You don't suppose he disposed of them?
Well, I mean, it is his job. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
I definitely did stake him. I staked him good.
I was not paying attention, I will be honest.
That's okay.
Oh, I think I forgot to ask a question about the orphanage. Were they all human children we interacted with?
That's a good question that I actually didn't really think of an answer to. I'll say we'll say it's sort of a fantasy mix, there might have been, my worlds are very eclectic species wise. So there might've been one gnome child or one elf child or something, but
right.
If you have a specific question related to that, I can give it, but otherwise.
Yeah. Trying to see what we're looking for. I guess I start investigating for footprints.
All right, make me an investigation check.
Oh my gosh. I'll do this too, I suppose.
All right.
Wow.
18.
Hey!
18. Ooh. Double 18s. There are footprints here. They're not out of the ordinary. I mean, this is a business. People have walked through here. You can't really... there are a lot of footprints that are larger in size, which makes sense because this is the operation of a dragonborn. There are also some that are not. Nothing seems remarkably out of the ordinary, but there are footprints there.
Like the gate. How does the gate look?
The gate to what?
Are we? Is it like a shuffle, like a groggy kind of shuffle of the footprints?
Oh, GAIT. I got you. That's a good question. No, they look normal. Mm-hmm. There's nothing out of the ordinary for the place you are in that you can see.
Would I have to make a separate roll to check for if anything's damaged or something? Any signs of damage or trouble?
I would say you got 18s on investigation. Mm-hmm. You don't see any damage. However, I think it is time for this. Perception check.
Oh boy.
All three of you.
Oh boy.
Fuck. 4.
19.
2. Again.
Oh.
Owen exclusively. You hear a thump from above you. Nope, I just accidentally unplugged my headset. There we go. You hear a thump from above you.
I start doing hand signals.
What the fuck are you doing? What is up?
Up above. Up. Thump. Upstairs.
Just say that. Gee, what's the fucking...
Oh, okay, I don't know. We're stealthing.
Stealth.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should make as a group upstairs.
Oh, I didn't check with Mike, but does Harold have a weapon of some sort?
He does, yeah.
Okay.
His main weapon is a war hammer.
Oh my god. Just
Nice.
carrying that shit around.
Owen has dual hand axes that he would wield. I'm also reading through my fucking character sheet, and I'm wishing I didn't spend all my spell slots talking to fucking pigs, because I have something called Primeval Awareness, which means I can expend a spell slot to sense if any undead are present within 1 mile of me.
Wait, the whole time
would have been helpful
for that fucking vampire.
The whole time.
This is what happens when you make a character the day before.
The whole time.
At this point, we're actually going to pause on the Hardys and cut over to Glib.
It is.
Lovely.
It's our first time alone.
Glib,
Yes.
Okay.
I assume, though feel free to correct me, that you just went back to the orphanage, back to the basement.
Absolutely. Went straight back down. He is trying to get back to normalcy as much as possible.
I need you to make me a perception check.
Lovely. All right. Let's see this. Ooh. Not great. So that is going to be a 6.
A 6 is... Okay, 6 is not enough to notice this. So...
It's so over.
Well, no. Here's what we're going to do. As... This is, we're flashing back to earlier. I'm not going to say exactly how long because I don't want to, give any clues through overlapping timing. Some time passes. Glib, I need you to make another perception check.
All right. God damn it. That's a 10.
A 10. At this point, do some rolls. Okay. And you're just kind of chilling in the...
Yep, that's all I'm doing. He is back. He's trying to mind his own business. Honestly, I don't know if chilling is the right word. I think the better word would be hiding because he doesn't want these people to come back. So he's just kind of trying to remain where he is and not cause trouble.
So now the question becomes, should Glib's vampiring, there's probably a word for that, but I don't care. Should it be a more dramatic scene, or is he just really the unluckiest motherfucker and didn't see?
That's a great question.
You know what? I'm thinking about how the sequence of this goes. Make me one more perception check. I'm not just having you repeat the same check. Things are happening.
Okay.
Things and beings are moving for everyone that you fail.
God damn it! 10. 10 again.
Another 10.
Really is the unluckiest son of a bitch alive.
All right. Tell me, does Glib at this stage, and I think I know the answer to this, but I want this to be confirmed, does Glib have dark vision?
I would assume not. Let me check.
That's what I think too. I think he gets dark vision from vampirism.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not.
Can frogs see in the dark? I thought so.
Is it a frog thing or a vampire
I
thing?
think Glib's is a vampire thing.
Okay, because frogs have excellent night vision.
Yeah, no, his is not based on the fact that he's a frog. It is a lot more based on the fact that he is a vampire. Oof. Wow, that is the saddest turn into a vampire ever, is just he ran away from the vampire hunters.
I'm not going to do it in that boring of a way. Have some faith in me.
I do.
Insisted on going back to that place alone.
Alone.
Insisted.
Glib, in sort of the recent dark of night,
Yes.
in your basement, you start to hear a squeaking noise that sounds quite like a bat somewhere in the basement with you.
All right. Glib, honestly, hears that, is jumpy at first, and then immediately goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And kind of looks looks around to try and find where the bat is.
I mean, I hate to just make you keep doing perception checks, but perception check. I don't know what else that would be.
Yep.
Apparently, Chad is saying that Grungs.
What?
Chad is saying Grungs do have dark vision, so I will take that into account from here out.
Okay.
But also, Panda looks pissed. So.
7! I got a fucking 7!
Are you sure you're rolling a d20?
Yes!
What an awful night to have a curse.
All right, let's see.
Oh
How do I want
God.
to do? How do I want to do this?
Do I at least get to show off warlock powers before this fucking thing?
I'm gonna do something. This is a little. I expected this to go a little differently, so I'm gonna do something kind of janky here. Momo, Mike, Nathan, leave the Skype.
Oh shit!
Oh my God!
I'm gonna text you.
Like that.
I think
I'm gonna
we can
text
just take our
you.
headphones off because if we like
Whatever
the Skype
works.
call, it's gonna fuck up the cameras.
Glib.
Yes.
You see, after a long time of looking for this bat, you see something flitting around the room.
Okay.
And it doesn't really look like a bat. Actually, if anything, it is a small, winged, bat-like creature, but notably scaly.
Okay. Glib sort of instinctually prepares an Eldritch Blast in his hands. Because he's still a warlock, and he's had 2 months to get used to something in his head. So his hands start to be ready.
So the bat creature, you have a reaction prepared. After a moment of just watching this thing, it darts towards you.
Immediate tries to blast it.
Make an attack roll.
Okay. This is a lot harder because my fucking dice won't roll on D20. So it's a +5. Attack dice are D20s, right?
Yes. I'm trying to think if there's an exception. I don't think there is.
Holy fucking God. All right, that's a 9.
A 9? Yeah. All right. A 9 is not going to do it. And this thing flaps towards you and tries to sort of latch onto your neck, at which point you hear it give a little shriek. Presumably because your body's covered with a little bit of acid.
It is.
And it just kind of smacks some leathery wings on there.
Okay.
So it doesn't chomp down on you immediately. It kind of smacks and then...
Can I try and grab it since it comes up? I fire, miss, it comes up to my neck, it slaps, screams. Can I try and grab it where it is, like a bug of some kind?
Go for it.
What roll would that be?
I'm thinking probably flat dexterity. I'm considering sleight of hand. Do you have a bonus to sleight of hand?
The same that I do to dexterity.
Okay, then just make me a dexterity.
That is a 17.
17 is actually going to be enough.
Okay.
So, you swat at this thing.
Well, I try and grab it. I'm not smacking. I'm trying to grab it.
You swat it, and you actually do manage to grab this thing.
Okay.
And it's in your hand now.
All right. Do I get a bonus if I Eldritch Blast something in my hand?
I have never thought about that before.
Okay.
Logically, I would think that's an auto.
I would assume that's an auto hit.
If you take a gun and touch it to something,
it's gonna hit it.
Trigger, yeah. I'm gonna give you an auto hit on that. Maybe in some cases, for people in the chat who are wondering about rules, if this thing was heavily armored, maybe I would have it have an AC. But this is a little thing that he's holding, so sure, you get an auto hit on that.
I am going to immediately just try and Eldritch Blast it instantly, which is not a D20, it's a D10 plus 3. So that is a 10, so maximum, so that's 13 damage immediately to it because you grabbed it and blasted it.
13 damage immediately.
Yeah.
This thing shrieks as this magical bullet essentially kind of just pounds into it from all sides. And you feel it start to shift in your hand.
Okay.
Growing and turning into, just kind of bursting out of your grip, a full-sized dragonborn. Clearly vampiric.
Okay.
Not trying to hide anything.
Gotcha.
And very pissed at you. At which point, it opens its mouth and fires a full-on lightning breath weapon directly into you.
Oh my god. Okay.
How much health does Glib have at this point?
At this point, 31.
31. Let me see what the exact stats on this are, because I don't actually remember off the top of my head. Give me the stats for this. Oh, come on. Now, I'm also gonna say something that we hadn't thought about before, but Glib is also probably wet, right?
Definitely. He has to.
And this is an electric.
He has to consistently re-moisten himself because of frog.
And this is an electric attack. You gonna tell me what the damage is? There we go, thank you. All right. Let me do some rolls here. I'm just gonna do it on my app. Okay. 20 damage.
Okay. Just fried.
I mean, yeah, it just popped. I did roll for it, but I don't think your AC is a 19 at level 4. So
no.
Technically it's supposed to be a save, but I'm gonna just roll with what that was.
Yeah.
If you want to do a save, I guess I'll be nice.
No,
but,
that's fine. This works.
All right. So yeah, you there's a loud boom of thunder as this lightning thing just strikes you. At which point you see it, unless you want to try to do something, you'll have to make a roll for it. I
have a small question because you know the god better than I do.
Okay.
If I let the Kraken possess me, does it give me a buff?
Interesting. You want to call out to the Kraken and kind of see what happens?
Yes.
All right.
I know I'm fighting the story right now, but like that is
No. I know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Call out to the Kraken.
All right. I start glowing red, whole room goes dark immediately, and Glib is just, because he's scared and he's only like a 19-year-old kid right now, he's in the corner and he's just muttering, help me, calling out to the patron god that has taken him over.
Interesting question here. This is a lore question for you. I'm going to assume, and as I've said several times, correct me if I'm wrong, would this be the first time Glib has done this outside of like the original sort of origin story?
This is the first time he has willingly. I'm assuming this is the first time he's willingly called out to the Kraken, because he has the Kraken. I'm assuming has talked to him in the past 2 months, like in his head, but he's just assumed that he's kind of crazy, because he thinks he went insane and can hear voices. But this is the first time that he's reaching out to him on instinct, because again, he has this in him now, so his body is trying to save him.
Yes. All right. So the room goes dark as well. I guess you wouldn't know this at the time. Well, maybe from the original, but the room goes dark as the power of the Kraken sort of flows into you. And though the room is now dark and very shadowy, you see these tentacles sort of burst out from your form. These, inky, shadowy tentacles, and just smack the Dragonborn into the opposing wall.
Gotcha.
This, I will say, since this is the first time that you've done it, probably sort of hurts you as much as it hurts him.
Yeah.
This is the full power of a dark god flowing into you.
Yep.
And yeah, this is, you see this Dragonborn get smacked into a wall, at which point you kind of start to black out a little bit as you see it turn back, struggling a little bit, but it sort of focuses, turns back into a sort of dragon bat-like creature, and leaves, at which point you go unconscious.
Yeah, I drop out, blackout, fall on the floor. By the way, this is all happening in the basement of an orphanage, so, like, I'm assuming that this was loud as fuck.
At that point, we're going to call in everybody else.
Okay.
I'm going to message them on Skype. Let's see. All right. We'll wait for them to return.
I'm back.
Hello. Everyone else is looking down or not here.
Yes.
So I'm going to text. Let's see if Mike notices. I see Mike looking up. Oh, there's Nathan.
Mike.
Mike!
We are so back.
We're back.
There we are so back.
Okay, so
stuff happens for everybody.
We're going to cut back over to you guys. So you guys hear this thump on the roof. You hear this thump, and you're going up there trying to figure. I think I said we said above you, but
yeah.
Make me stealth checks.
All right.
Stealth. We are the night.
Oh, we are the night.
Great. I got us.
Nat 20.
All right.
Great. It's a 9.
So, Owen's going to get there first. I kind of also did the stealth check as like a speed check. You get up, you hear these light, obviously trying to be sneaky footsteps on the roof. And as you go to sort of look and see what they are, you hear from a street or two over an explosion.
What?
What?
Yeah. And at that explosion, you hear another set of frantic thumps. Make me a perception check. Just Owen.
Okay. Oh, another nat 20.
Hey.
I'm not shitting. Back to back.
You see, jumping off the roof, a black cloaked figure that in midair shifts into a smaller form and darts away.
Yo, I just saw Timothy's ass fly away like a bat.
What?
Shit. I
I run into the room that he was just in.
He was on the roof. He was not in
He was on
the house. You heard the thump on the roof, and you didn't.
But Timothy just got away. But what about the 2 other footsteps we heard up there?
Is there a way up on the roof from inside?
You can try to clamber up out the window. I won't even make you roll for it. It wouldn't be that difficult.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't be that difficult. So, yeah, you get up there. There's no one up there now.
So the explosion was here or somewhere
with a nat
else?
20.
Sorry.
The explosion was a couple streets over. You can make me a history check to try to figure out where. I'm not giving it to you automatically because you're not natives of the town.
Right. I was gonna say with a nat 20, can I perceive that the bat flew in the direction of the explosion?
Yes, you can. You can figure that out for sure. Yes.
Okay.
What is my history?
We're making history checks to try and figure out where
it came from. Yeah.
I have a -1.
That's a 15 for me.
I also have a -1.
Can I roll?
I got it at 20, baby.
15 is actually.
Hey, there we go.
Harold's on a shit. It definitely
Hardy
came
boys
from the
are so
direction of
back.
the orphanage.
Which that's where the dead parent house the place we were at. That's where the
Harold by
explosion
the
was.
shoulders, and I'm just like, Harold, listen to me. It's time to go into beast mode. Get on all fours. Let's do this.
Let's fucking go. And Harold like scampers off the roof through the window we scrambled through and like down the house and out the door.
Nathan, your dice are clickety clacking.
Oh, sorry. I'm anxious.
So you guys are just sprinting over there as fast as possible?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I won't make you do any rolls to get there. It's not that big of a town. You make it into the orphanage. You just kind of burst in, I assume. You can see in the hallway there are children sort of peeking out of their rooms trying to figure out what happened. Notably, they are all sort of looking in the direction of the basement.
Shit.
I mean, if Harold clocks that, he's absolutely beelining for the basement.
I figured.
Everyone, stay in your rooms.
The children do not listen to this person. They probably never met, most of them. Harold, you burst into the basement to see a black-cloaked figure holding and biting the form of Glib.
Ah, beans. And he's... I don't think the Warhammer, because he doesn't want to kill Glib necessarily, but I did also give him as a dagger as a side weapon, so I'll say he pulls that out and, like, jumps at the figure biting on Glib.
Make me an attack roll.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
That's plus 5, 19.
19 is pretty good. This figure seemed pretty preoccupied with that, and you with Glib. So you jump and you stab. Maybe a damage roll, I guess, just for sake of having it. We'll see if this goes to full combat.
Literally,
someone leaves.
Since joining the first combat thing I've done on this show at all.
Dude, season 3 keeps having not combat. It's very funny. There was going to be combat in episode 3, and then as I've said many times, you derailed it. Anyway,
hang on, I'm missing my D4 for some reason, so I need to that digitally.
Just roll a higher die until you get a 4 or less. That's what I do if I don't have lower dice. You can make every dice roll with a D20. It just might take a few.
That's 5 damage. Crispy 5 damage.
A crispy 5 damage. You stab your daggers into this thing. Are these specific, like, vampire hunting daggers or just normal daggers? Remind me of...
These are iron
definitely
daggers.
Vampire.
I would not have sent him in there without iron daggers.
Yeah.
So this figure shrieks, clearly hurt by this thing. Drops Glib, though it seems that the damage has already been done. And whips around. Are you still on its back?
If I stabbed into it, Harold probably would try to, like, straddle and stay on it, yeah.
Then make me a strength check, really quick.
Man.
14. Oh, wait, no.
14.
Sorry. 10. My bad.
How do you have a minus?
Wait, no. 11.
Strength?
11. It's plus 5, so 11. Let's be generous.
The vampire rolled low, so a 14 would have done it, but an 11 will not. Tragically. So yeah, this figure swings around and is able to rip Harold off of its back. In the dark of this room, Harold, make me a perception check.
That is a... Do I have anything... Oh, I have plus 1. 13.
13? Okay. It swings around, but in the dark, you can't really see its form at all. It's also, wearing a dark cloak. And it turns into a bat and attempts to book it. At which point, you guys who are all, I'm assuming, standing like near or in the doorway can try to grab it or attack it or whatever your options are.
I'm taking out my decanter and this holy water, and I'm aiming at that thing. I get
water gun.
It is a range of 30 feet. So even if it gets past me, I'm taking it out of the shot.
I'd touch your shoulder and give you guidance.
It's also a bonus action to use that, so I would still have an action, right?
I'm trying to think what are the rules for holy water gun?
I think it would be lava.
Well, no, that's a good point. I wasn't thinking damage though. I was thinking like attacks because it feels like a holy water gun attack as a bonus action is really good.
It says the thing says it produces 30 gallons of water that gushes forth in a geyser 30 feet long, 1 foot wide. As a bonus action while holding the decanter, you can aim the geyser at a creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The target must succeed a DC 13 saving throw or take 1d4 bludgeoning damage and fall prone. But probably going to be different.
Okay.
Okay,
I did not know. I did not expect the rules to explicitly be for an attack. In that case, sure, you said 13 save.
Or take 1d4 bludgeoning damage and fall prone. So I guess, or get knocked out of the sky.
You actually do.
Let's go.
So as this bat flitters by you, you whip out your holy water gun and just fire a super soaker mega blast right at this thing. With a splash sound, it hits. You see the bat start to steam a little bit as it falls to the ground.
Does it come out of?
Yeah, Harold immediately like.
I'm going to say it's stunned in bat form currently.
All right, stunned is good enough for me. I'm taking out a knife and stabbing that shit.
You're just going to stab it?
I'm going to stab it right through the heart.
All right. Do you have to? I don't think you. It's stunned on the ground. You stab it right through the heart. And as you do this, it lets out a shriek, and the bat form slowly expands into the black cloaked figure of Lord Wainwright.
Well, how about
shock and awe?
Well, how about that guy I've never seen before?
You would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Well, if it isn't that guy I don't recognize, who is this guy?
And
who is this?
And as he dies, you hear him croak out, "I was just trying to help."
A likely story.
Yeah!
Unlikely you got story.
You can insight check it if you want.
Don't do it for your own sake.
Likely story.
It's a tough business. You can't listen to vampires.
I got an 11.
You can't throw a stone without hitting a vampire with a soft sword, okay? You gotta just do your job and fucking move on.
At this point, Glib, you are starting to wake up in the basement. You feel weird, though.
You feel weird,
Are
man.
they still fighting the vampire behind me? Because this is going to be a real sad background moment.
I think like you sort of hear like the wake up and can go up into the main floor and see the aftermath of this.
Glib wakes up in the basement. And after having been possessed by the Kraken for the first time.
What?
Yeah, by the way, if you guys want to know what happened, Glib let himself get taken over for the first time.
I wouldn't tell them.
I'm going to tell the players but the characters don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Glib, after waking up, after what just happened, tries to take a breath in because a tentacle came out of him. Only to realize he can't because he doesn't breathe anymore. And he realizes the whole room is lit up like it wasn't before because now he can see in the dark way better than he did before. And he realizes his skin no longer feels wet anymore because his skin doesn't need to. And Glib starts to shake because he's not sure what happened to him while he was out. The only thing he can feel is a bite, like something radiating pain on his neck. And he hears the commotion upstairs and slowly shambles towards the is it stairs, ladder, whatever the fuck led us down here.
I never describe. We'll say it's like kind of shoddy stairs.
Yeah. You
see the scene unfolding in front of you, though notably, you see Wainwright there.
Okay. I see that I'm not saying anything because he's not really here yet. He's still very much disassociating. Mm-hmm. But he like shambles up and he sees what's going on and is just kind of standing there as he's shaking.
Meanwhile, Owen is high-fiving Owen's high-fiving Harold and cheering on Prince like, "You fucking got him! We're the Hardy boys! Let's go!
Hardy boy!
Party,
if Harold sees that Glib has come upstairs, he saw the scene of Wainwright holding him, so once he clocks you, he's immediately gonna clamber over and, like, frankly, forcefully move your neck to see if there is a bite mark.
And he will see one.
I'm gonna say bad move. Because fair. Glib immediately grabs you by the neck and holds you out. Because now he has the strength of a vampire and just grabs you and holds you out in front of him.
Do I see this?
You were.
Am I too busy celebrating with
patronizing?
I would say that's up to you.
I see.
Hey! Put him down.
Glib pulls Harold in and immediately gets in his fucking face and just goes, I was hiding. I was safe. And then you fucking people ruined me again! And he throws Harold across the room.
I'm gonna catch him.
Make a dexterity check, I guess.
All right.
Is Owen able to track?
That's a 19. I catch him.
There's a bite.
You catch him. I would say the bite is probably fairly obvious.
Okay.
Especially with like a frog, the blood would be like a color you're not used to. So yeah,
I'm pretty sure we said Glib's blood is blue, so it's like coming. It's obvious that it's there.
It's heavily panting in Prince's arms. I think he got bit.
Glib again, because the most power he's ever felt was minutes ago, and now he's more angry than he's ever been. And now he's not afraid of dying, because he saw that the vampire was on the ground. He felt what was on his neck, and he could kind of tell what's going on. Letting it go back into him again, the room goes dark. Glib's eyes start to glow, and his fangs come out for the first time. And Glib preps both hands with Eldritch Blast, because he is furious.
I want to note something for Glib here. When you do this, it still doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
But interestingly, it feels less bad than last time.
Gotcha.
It feels like you have some at least slightly higher level of control than you did before, for reasons you don't know, but it is noticeable.
Man, what I wouldn't do for some spells.
I told you guys you could sleep on it, but no one took that offer.
I was gonna do it after Timothy, but here we are. Hey, man, you gotta chill out. Okay, there's a lot of emotions in the air, dude. And
the second he says that, he Eldritch Blasts him as soon as Owen talks. Let's see. That's a +5 to a hit dice. All right. Oh, okay. Well, I probably miss. I'm furious. So that's 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
14.
So Eldritch Blast right near your head. Chill out. Chill out. Look at me.
Listen. Things.
What?
Things don't look great right now, but we can figure this out.
Don't look great? You fucking people brought this here! I was fine!
I think we were helping, but, to each their own.
I have a 25-foot fucking leap. He's gonna jump immediately at Owen.
No!
I feel like I've been hand on dagger as I see him acting crazy, and as soon as he moves, I'm gonna fling a dagger at him.
Yeah, that's fair. Make an attack roll.
All right, that's a 13 to hit.
Oh yeah, you do, but barely. You get me, but only barely.
All right, so that's 1d4 plus 5. That's going to be 9 damage on the first one. I'm going to, let's see.
Ooh,
I think I can.
Better question. Hey, Matt, did I get any health back after being turned into a vampire?
I would think if anything, you probably lost some.
Great.
But given the circumstances of your turning, I'll say you did not.
All right.
So you are at the health
damage.
value that you were before.
9 damage on the first one, yeah. I'm going to see if I have like a bonus action. I think I can bonus action. I can action surge and take an additional action. And I think I'm going to... Oh, shit. On my additional action, can I grab my brother? My other brother?
Sure.
So... in my second action, I'm going to action surge, grab Owen, and like basically use my movement to get to the door.
You're able to do that. At this point, Martha comes rushing out of one of the side rooms, clearly panicked, having just woken up to an explosion and yelling and screaming and magic sounds and all sorts of things. I think she looks first at Glib, who does, on first glance, seem to be the instigator of all this. Glib, what on earth are you doing? What's happened?
Okay, so I am gonna leave a choice up to you, Matt, because Glib is on his last legs here, and he's gonna surrender control back to the Kraken again.
We out of here. We out of here, boys.
He's gonna surrender control of his body and whatever the Kraken wants to do. Because he's on his last legs here, but he is not going to let these people live.
Fascinating. How much health are you
2.
on? How much health are you on? 2? You just blacked out.
Gotcha. Immediate. Bink. Gone.
Just immediate blackout. At which point, after, I assume just a moment of like awkward, stunned silence, Martha kind of tenderly walks over to the body and starts to try to pick Glib up, but she's an old woman, so like a couple of the other kids come and help her. Goes, we need to get him to the apothecary. He's clearly sick. And then some of the boys take him out, presumably going there, unless stopped.
They have to kill him.
Are we?
Hey, he's a vampire. We can't.
No, I am. As soon as like he goes down, we are out of there. I am dragging you boys out of there. We are gone.
You guys just got
Prince. The job
We are
is
in
done.
over our heads. You weren't ready.
We are in over our heads.
In that case, we'll time skip a little bit. Glib, you wake up sometime later. It's still dark outside, but you don't know exactly how much time has passed. To see a familiar dragonborn standing over you with a sinister smile on his face. Just sort of watching. Seems to not notice that you're awake yet, given your strange eyes now.
Glib tilts his head to look at him and just where am I?
Where do you think you are?
I remember blacking out. I remember so much anger. I don't know where I am anymore.
I remember blacking out. Timothy leans and goes, "Is that all you remember? Nothing before?"
He Glib like focuses his eyes for a second and remembers who he's talking to and goes,
I remember throwing you through a fucking wall, if that's what you're asking.
Yes, that was quite unexpected for someone of your stature, but I survived, and it seems through some strange twist of fate. I didn't fight you, did I?
I don't know. I don't care.
Timothy kind of turns around and starts pacing the room, clearly surprised by sort of what is happening here. This is not an outcome that he was expecting. He thought he was turning somebody. He didn't do that, and then they got turned anyway.
Gotcha.
This is weird. This is weird for him, because unless a fang perhaps caught you in my initial approach, but that mark on your neck, that's not where I... Who possibly could have done this? Surely I'm the only... No, it's not possible. And he kind of just keeps rambling like this.
Does Glib feel that he's any, like, physically different? Like, other than the like, breathlessness and the skin and the eyes and everything? Can he feel like he's any stronger? Can he feel like he can move faster? Is there senses that he wasn't aware of before?
Definitely. There are senses that you can feel. Like, you don't have this innate sense of, like, I'm a vampire, but if you think about it, you can figure it out.
Gotcha. This might be the first. How far away is he?
He's pacing around the room currently, but it's not a huge room. I would say he's staying within 10 feet of you at all times, maybe 15 at max.
Okay. This is a question from Matt, because I've never actually used it, like, offensively. Can I use the tentacle that is Glib's tongue to grab someone?
Unarmed strike grapple rules. Sure.
Okay.
So yeah, just grapple rules.
Okay. Trying to look for grapple.
Clearly we missed.
You did miss quite a significant portion.
You missed a bit.
How do I use grapple? Is it just unarmed strike?
One vampire.
Okay, so let's do this to him.
I'll tell you guys, like, what happened in the sidelines when we're done in the after show, of course.
That is
if they don't come to light in this.
To hit, that's a 21.
Oh, yeah. He was not expecting anything like that, and immediately you are able to
So, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm grabbing him, pulling him closer, and I'm trying to drink him. Because as soon as I realize I'm a vampire, I need health back, and I don't know if I can do this yet.
Can vampires drain other vampires?
I don't know. I don't know how D&D vampires work.
Make me an attack roll, mostly to stall so I can think.
Can vampires?
What am I rolling for the attack roll? Because the attack roll was the unarmed strike that I used, because you told me that was...
Whatever your normal bite attack is as Glib regularly.
Usually I only do it after a fight is over. I've never actually bit someone mid-fight. So.
Let me just Google D&D vampire and see what the bite attack is. There's got to be something in there, right?
How much vamp can a vampire drink if a vampire can't vamp?
If it bleeds, you can drink it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking he doesn't bleed,
bleeds,
probably.
You can feed.
Who fucking knows? Glib sure as shit doesn't.
Vampire
He's still new to this.
One willing creature or a creature that is grappled, incapacitated, or restrained. So you can do it. Just make another unarmed strike attack. This vampire is obviously higher level than you. Just make the roll, and I will calculate in the bonuses myself, because this vampire's much higher level.
Okay, so I'm rolling 2 hit, or I'm rolling for damage?
Rolling 2 hit.
Okay.
Because this is the first time you're doing
this. That is going to be a 17.
A 17. Okay. I am going to say that you do manage to bite into the scales. It is harder because this is a scaly creature.
Right.
But you do manage to do that much. And while there seems to be like something going into your mouth, it doesn't seem particularly nourishing. In fact, I'm just going to say, and I don't know what normal vampire lore is, I'm going to say it tastes bad.
Gotcha.
I'm going to say that drinking another vampire is an unpleasant thing to do.
Probably.
I think that's believable. So we're going to go with that. You do this, and it's very bad tasting, so you let go immediately. You can try to make a constitution check if you really want to hold on, but you're going to need to make a check.
Yeah, I'll try. Why Let's see. Yeah, that's an 8. That didn't work.
Yeah, no. So this disgusting liquid fills your mouth, and Timothy is freed, and he just starts laughing. You think a vampire can drink another vampire, especially one as powerful as me? Do you know who I am? I am the wings of the night!
Glib's laughing. Glib is laughing as he's spitting out the blood. And he looks up at Timothy, and he goes, I don't think you get it. I don't think you get it. Every single second of my life, I've been scared. I've been terrified. And whoever fucking did this took away the only thing stopping me from anything. I don't care anymore. So you can do whatever the fuck you want. But I'm done.
At this point, Timothy looks impressed. You see almost like... Actually, make an insight check.
Okay. That's a +2. Let's see. Oh, that is the wrong dice. There we go. Yep, nope, nothing. That would be 8.
You know what? For dramatic purposes, I'm going to say that to
Okay.
Timothy looks, if anything, impressed.
Okay.
And he just kind of steps back from him and goes, well, if you don't care, and you're not going to tell anyone about this, I don't know who turned you, but if you're not going to meddle in my affairs as a fellow vampire, I won't meddle in yours. And he gestures to the door.
Was I not restrained at all? I thought I was restrained.
You actually weren't. No. I don't believe I ever said you were. If I did, that was my mistake. I don't think I said you were, no.
Okay. Glib stares at him for a second. And then he gets up. He gets up and he walks out.
Gets up and leaves. Where you going?
He's still furious. And in his mind, the people who ruined his life were the people who got him wrapped up in another fucking plot with shit bigger than him. Because he was trying to stay hidden and on the down low, and then he was dragged out into the open, and then this happened again. He was dragged into another plot by another group of idiots he didn't trust. And he goes back to the orphanage because he's going to try and use the senses he now has to track the Hardy Boys down.
Oh boy, okay. And okay, so we'll say you go back to the orphanage. You still see the dead form of Wainwright just laying on the ground, who again now has been revealed was not the attacker of Glib at the very least. Something happened there that has not been pieced out yet and may not be pieced out till the after show. The Hardys are no longer there. They have booked it. Where did you guys go?
Well, I mean, as the eldest, I threw everyone in that buggy and we were going back to Bowenberg. And we were going back to the family and being like, hey, y'all, that was not a first hunt. There's something way shittier going on in Hamtog. Hamgot? What are we doing?
Hamtog.
Hamtog.
Something's amiss there.
It was crazy, man.
And we need the whole family. We need the guild. We need everybody.
So they leave. Glib, I'm going to say, I mean, you can try to make a survival check if you want to get an idea of where they're from, but I don't think you'd heard of them before. So actually, make me a history check.
Oh, God.
You are from Bowenberg.
I have a -1 for history. I got an 11.
Yeah, you were not super familiar with the Hardys. I imagine one of the Hardy parents is maybe like an adjunct professor of monster hunting at the magic school, but not anything that you. Again, I say I imagine. It's my word. Yeah. That's canon. But you never interacted with them. But if you ask around, you could find them. It is possible for you to have a sort of vendetta against the Hardys and try to hunt them down in the midpoint between this and the Symmetry War. But Glib's a vampire. He's hunting the Hardys, and the Hardys have gotten the heck out of town. So I think I think that is where we're going to call the Secret Origin of Glib Part 2, though I will say we'll do a brief little Marvel-style end scene of Glib in backspace, future Glib. Glib who has maybe gotten over some of his trauma, but then had it reactivated in 5 different ways. Glib waiting for his friends to get back from their mission so that they can finish this calm diplomacy when he gets a text from Goodbid. And on that note, we will call the Secret Origin of Glib Part 2. Next week, we will do Episode 4. We had to taunt you all with the Secret Origin of Glib Part 2 this week. We remember when if anyone was in my streams this week, I was always saying, I was like, people are going to be mad at me. And I'm very glad that we did this. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the Secret Origin of Glib Part 2. That is how Glib got turned into a vampire. If you want to know the specific parts of the mystery that were never unraveled, I'm going to talk about them in the after show.
I have a lot of things to say about Glib as well in the interim between Backspace and this that I'll probably reveal in the after show too.
Yes. All right. So that's it. What do you guys think?
I have questions that I will save for the after show.
All right, cool.
I feel like we did a good job.
Yeah, you actually.
I feel like we did a good job.
You pieced out a lot of. Again, I'll talk about the full mystery in the after show. But yeah, you never talked to Wainwright. That was one thing. It's like you never spoke to him once, which is you spoke to him in the intro, and that was it. But yeah, you figured out a lot of it.
We're gonna.
Go us.
I mean, we still don't even know the full story.
There was something going on in that town. Glib got bit by a vampire, and one vampire was successfully killed.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and talk about some of the stuff that you missed now, because I don't want to save that for the after show entirely. We'll talk about secret things in the after show, but I'll tell you sort of what happened. Which is basically, there were 2 vampires, obviously. There was Wainwright and there was Timothy. What happened? Wainwright was trying to use his powers for some level of good. What you heard when you went in, the stealth check was not for Timothy noticing you, it was Wainwright noticing a break-in. So he saw you guys go in, he saw a torch, that sound on the roof was him. And then Glib, in Glib's thing, Glib was just going to get turned there. There were some changes, but Glib managed to catch bat-form Timothy and piss him off, basically. And then Timothy breath weaponed him. He hit him with the lightning, but that was the explosion. So that's why you guys didn't hear the whole story, is because Glib was able... I
was gonna ask, when we got there, what exploded?
What happened was Glib was able to catch the bat, and then Glib Eldritch blasted him in, like, he had him in his full hand, and then Eldritch blasted him, which pissed Timothy off. He changed back and just point blank breath weaponed him. Which was the explosion that you heard.
There was also the reason that Timothy didn't bite me after breath weaponing me is that Glib let himself get taken over by the Kraken, and the Kraken used a tentacle out of his chest and threw him through a wall.
Yes. And then the part that neither of you guys heard, because you killed Wainwright very fast, was what happened. You guys all heard the explosion in the apothecary, as did Wainwright. And since Wainwright was trying to help, he heard an explosion at the orphanage that he genuinely cared about, immediately went over to see what happened, and found in the basement a child being taken over by this dark god, and was like, I have to do something about this. If I turn him, maybe it will stop the possession, which it did. That was the thing you didn't hear, is he was genuinely trying to help. He was trying to stop this possession.
We waited for that.
Listen, we were there to
that was we
were there to hunt vampires. We saw the first vampire, and we freaking hunted him. We did our prerogative.
We were looking for one.
We did ice Wainwright pretty easily.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
We did our job. Okay.
Oh, I'm trying to think also, this didn't ever come up, but Crane's sort of part in this, that was why, Crane indirectly was why kids were getting targeted. Because Timothy at first was just having pigs. He was not, doing anything, weird. He was trying to survive off animals and not people. If you had investigated the magical stuff on Crane's desk further, what it was protection spells over his livestock, and the protection spells he cast over his livestock forced Timothy to search out other means of food, which is why things started to... There was a line in where he was like, at least they're not targeting my pigs. He didn't care that the kids were getting targeted at all. He was like, it's not targeting my people, so that's fine. But yeah, that was the sort of pieces of everything in there.
All right. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Pay for the rest.
Everything else is fine.
That's enough. That's enough of the lore. That's enough of the lore.
If you pay for the backstage, we each get a single dollar.
Okay. Is that? I guess that is the breakdown.
We each
give us each $1, please.
We each get $1. Yeah.
Minus 20% because Patreon.
Give us all 80 cents.
Give us all 80 cents.
Just
buy our merch. We get more money from merch.
You too can support.
Bang from Hatskisi, 80 cents at a time.
Yeah, we do have merch. The merch link is now on the screen all the time. We have good bid merch. There's more merch coming later. As one ending thing, some people in chat were asking for physical character descriptions of the Hardys for art, and then we will go to the after show. So we'll do that really quick.
Oh, I never do care what my characters look like. So go for it.
Mine is like Beach Boy vibes, tan skin, blonde hair with the quiff.
You essentially created
and then fantasy gear.
That's what I was like. I was imagining Michelangelo as I was talking to you. I'm like, oh my god.
I was fully imagining just the Winchesters, including Adam, the one everyone forgets is the Winchester. And that's the Hardy boy.
Yeah.
The Winchesters, but one of them is a 12-year-old little goblin boy.
Whenever Harold
is Winchesters with a leash child.
Whenever he's not being actively aggressive, he is doing like a Kubrick stare, like just.
All right. Thanks for coming, y'all. We're so sorry about being mean, but we had to.
Show up next week.
Sorry about being mean.
Show up next week for the real episode 4, Secret Origin of Glib Part 2. Part 3. Damn it! I messed up my joke. And on that beautiful note of me screwing up the bit I was trying to do, we'll see y'all next week.